Who am I?
You're that femboy that got bullied
I'm
a
not
few
a
years ago.
that. Yeah. I'm the bunny boy that's very skinny and twinkish and goes, ma'am, are you trying to show me your boobies? That's me.
That's- I
You look small.
I look small. What?
I don't know. The framing, you look small. I don't know how to describe it. Chat, am I right here? Doesn't she like maybe she's further? Oh, I can see you. I can see I can see you trying to get
Yeah,
to a certain height but failing.
yeah. Because I need to do like such small adjustments.
They need to fix that.
No, I think it's good. It's more about like it's so you.
Well, no, the
Well,
fact
I guess it would be better to have like just a separate ability or set it separate like button to
you
reset
just
it.
said put a number. Cause like if I want to change my
Yeah,
base height up like 0.2 centimeters, I can't. Cause it just auto snaps to the thing.
yeah, that's fair.
Also, welcome to pre-podcast, where the points are made up and nobody wins. Option in the Unity
Yeah,
editor. Yeah,
yeah.
I
An
don't.
option in Unier that could
Yes,
be the pre-podcast. Yep,
yes,
that's
Rook.
essentially what this is.
Yeah, we're waiting for people to kind of flow in and show up.
We also have Ben on the standby ready.
Is over there. There's a little green thing on the table. This is also the first podcast. Definitely.
Yeah, this is the first episode.
Definitely no impromptu one or not as wanted
Like
thing. Whoa,
actually,
shout out Echo the Neko. Echo the
there
Neko
you go.
is a pretty cool Neko. Let's go.
Is that girl? I got pizza. Joe pizza. That sounds good.
BG3. Oh, dude, I could go for pizza. No, I had a burger earlier. I actually don't want pizza.
Damn.
Yeah. I was like, it's the weekend. It's Labor Day weekend here in America. I deserve a burger.
Oh, yeah, it's a long weekend for you.
Yeah, Monday I have off, thankfully. Which all that really means is that next week, Tuesday through Friday, are gonna be hell. We got to catch up.
Oh yeah,
It's
love it.
the great
Hi,
thing. Get a
Rasby.
day off, but comes the price. Hi, Rafi.
Is next week's episode going to be the first as well? No, there is no episode next week.
Yeah, it's every
This
two
week is kind of an
weeks.
exception because, yeah, it's supposed to be every 2 weeks, but last one I felt went so bad, so I asked if do we want to try again, start over.
I don't think it went that bad, but she did, and I was like, okay, yeah, pushing all Monday on to Tuesday.
Pretty much.
What the fuck?
YouTube dating. What?
What?
No. No, we're
This?
not.
That's gonna be a common thing, by the way. Listen, on the internet, when a boy and a girl are friends, there's always gonna be ships.
Oh. Yeah, you're
It's
right. You're
just
right.
an
Sorry.
unfortunate thing. Even when like a boy and a boy or a girl and a girl, people just have that. Now everybody's saying it.
Yeah. It's because
The
I
shit.
gave it attention.
Yeah, I remember.
I
I
took call
remember
him kid.
I mean, it's it kind of, well, not really, but
The
have you
shits.
been? Oh, you have been on my channel. You've been on my stream once for like a collab type thing of the tier list. Remember?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
Did
It
it?
was fun.
It was a really
And
long time ago.
yeah, similarly, you were also late for that.
Huh. Imagine that, huh?
It's crazy.
Imagine always being late.
It's like
It's
it's
a
your
curse.
branding or something.
Let's go! Kiss him! Kiss him!
What?
They get redeemed. Charles is screaming, kissing, and making out.
You gotta. I know his name is literally Charlie, but
Yeah.
because your accent, you kind of trail off with the A. So I don't know if you're talking about lay or critical.
Oh.
So I was like, when the fuck
Yeah,
did Lay
sometimes I
say
don't know
that?
if I should say. Yeah, sometimes I don't know if I should say like Charlie or moist, like what people
You said
are more
critical.
used to on
Don't say
critical.
moist. You say, why did you not go for the third obvious option
Moist.
of critical? Actually, I think you should call him
I don't
Penguin
know.
Zero. I think that's a good name for
Penguins.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that way you
Yeah.
know who we're talking
Honestly.
about.
Hi, Ruggy.
I stole your joke, Raspy. Get absolutely dunked on. He's taller than me. He could dunk on me. I don't like basketball though. Anyway,
Yeah. Ice Greg's. No, I think I can give it like a minute more. Wait for 10 minute mark, and then we can get started properly.
yeah, I'm good with that. You have 10 people time to 10 people, 10 minutes for people to float on in. Oh, bye. This is my podcast now. Hello, welcome to Just Toast. Uh, Actually, no, I'm the unscripted part because I don't fucking know what we're talking about. I'm just here. I don't have a plan. I try not to because it's easier that way. Excuse me.
I don't
You didn't put you
like.
didn't put your list. You put a list in chat last or in DMs last time of topics.
Uh,
I
I
mean,
can
granted, we know the
post this.
one major topic for today, which theoretically could take up the whole
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, and it kind of
Oh,
correlates with why we
that
picked this
first
for. But
one. Oh my god, that first
yeah,
one.
that's that first one. That is specifically something that I really wanted to discuss, and it kind of borders on
We
the
can't.
second topic because I really want to hear your opinion on it and stuff like
Oh,
that.
I
I think
have.
it's an interesting topic. I know we've
We'll
talked about
get
it
to it.
before.
Yes, and I have. Oh, I'm very. I don't know opinionated, but I've thought about it quite a lot.
Yeah.
Also, Raspy, I will steal your Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Come TwitchCon. Don't tempt me. Anyway,
Um.
now that it's been 10 minutes, I'm kind of thirsty. I need to take a little sip of something. Oh, you're fixing the blur. Never mind. I'm still thirsty.
There we go. Just making it a bit more.
Pretty.
No, separating us
Oh,
from the background, so it's easier to
that's
like.
actually good. Yeah, we were kind of lost in it. Where are you? Should I sit like this? I don't know. You're facing very towards the camera. I
Yeah.
don't know. Maybe I'm nitpicking. Like having this, like I face this way, you face this way. We can look at each other, and then the camera. You got to know your etiquette, man. Have you never seen a podcast before?
Basically, no.
Oh. Well,
I don't
I
really
have.
watch many.
What the fuck? Dude. Preacher Talk, My Brother and Me, the Rooster Teeth podcast.
Okay, buddy.
That's about it. I'm sure there's more that I've listened to, but I don't remember. But
Okay,
yeah,
that
it was a good
works.
podcast.
Perfect.
We good now?
Yeah, I think we're pretty much good to start.
Okay, well I'm
Todd
kind of
only
thirsty,
watches
so I'm
certain
gonna
content. What?
take a drink. Super Mega Cap. I'm sorry, Lay.
Super Mega Cast? What? The fuck is that?
Bro doesn't know the boys, the funny brothers.
No.
They're the funny brothers. They're funny
And
and they're
yes, what?
brothers. But anyway, what? Yeah? Huh? Want to say something?
Yeah, no, I was just gonna call them like I don't watch podcasts and I definitely don't watch my own content. I hate watching my own content. Not because I think it's bad, it's just I can't stand watching myself.
Wow, that's like the opposite of me. I mean, not, but like, listen, the videos that you put out, like, I'm just saying, some of the funniest parts were me, and I watched them, and I was like, hey, I don't hate my voice as much anymore. I still hate it, but I got better. Legitimately, watching your videos and having to hear my own voice helped me not hate it as much. So thank you, and Kuzan.
Yeah, the YouTube videos I would definitely say is like probably an exception because they're very edited, so it doesn't feel just me. Like when I see myself, I know what I was thinking. I know myself in that moment. So it's weird. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not
I
a
think
fan of it.
it's very different from just like watching like a whole VOD or a whole stream of something. If it's edited, then it also has that flavor of the editor,
Thank you for supporting my cheese addiction.
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like there's different styles and they had their own twists and spins and yeah,
Yeah.
Kuzan is very good at that.
Skyrider says, does that mean Top doesn't have any mirrors in her home? Now, here's a depressing thing for you. There was a point in time when I was still just like starting out with video chat and before like when I first was about to get my like index and all that. Back then when I was like super depressed, I actually disliked myself so much that I covered my own mirrors for a while. Yes. That's how bad things were.
Are they still covered?
No.
I'm glad you're better. But yeah,
Starting off strong. There we go.
how many mirrors do you have in your house? Like I can only think of the bathroom mirror in my house. That's the only one I have. Just a small circle.
I have 3, I think. 2. Not 3.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's too many. I could see maybe one in the bathroom and one in the bedroom for like if you're putting on an outfit or something, but 3? It's too many.
Yeah. Bathroom, hall, bedroom. And no, I don't have one in my like VR room because
Well, that's not smart.
yeah. Yeah, Chris. I do have that one in the hallway, the big one.
Anyway, didn't you want to start off this podcast by saying something that I tried to lead into twice and you just ignored it?
Huh?
Damn, I sure am
Sponsored by
thirsty.
Gamer Subs.
There
Yeah,
we
sponsored
go.
by Gamer
I sure am
Subs.
thirsty. Man, raw meat. Yum yum. Glug glug glug.
I don't have one easily accessible. I need to move it closer.
If you like the flavor of like watermelon, like artificial watermelon flavoring, raw meat, fuck, it's as good as you can get. Honestly,
I hate that flavor.
wow, that's fucked up. I love
Yeah,
it.
I tried raw meat and I hated it. It tastes like watermelon. So yeah, if you like that flavor, go for it. You're gonna love it. But I don't like
I
it.
will say, from everything that I've heard about gamer subs, that like what you're saying there, they're perfectly fine with. They're like, yeah, give your
Yep.
honest opinion. Like, there's good flavors and there's flavors that just aren't for you.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
tried
there's nothing wrong with the product. It's just not my
uh
flavor.
the queso's bombastic blast or whatever, and I'm like, it tastes like the popsicle, like the red, white, and blue popsicle. I just don't like it that much. The raw meat, however, and Sakura Blast or whatever is good. I like it.
Sakura Splash, yeah.
What?
Sakura Splash,
Sakura, it's okay. If you like sour
yeah,
cherry,
yeah. I really like cherry, like most cherry flavors. I will say the Sakura Splash one, it took a little bit for that one to grow on me because it has kind of a weird aftertaste,
yeah,
but it like the actual drinking itself is really good. So like if you can
I'm
get over
hoping
like
it
the
grows
aftertaste,
on me.
it's great.
But yeah, what do you want to talk about? I see
Um,
we're in 2021 again. So I mean the
yeah,
background's blurred now, but for a good reason. But we're New Year's, old VR chat, eh?
there you go. Now that I can see.
Yeah, look at that. You
Old
got Smash
VSC,
Contact. You got Lauren right there, I think. Or no, there's Lauren.
Lolathon,
Got Lola and
Jameski.
Jameski. You got Kimple over there. Old VR chat. What happened, Todd?
What
Where have the
happened?
good times gone?
I don't really know. It's this is not like an easy question to answer because um leading into this question, I want it perfectly clear. Like the game is doing better than ever before. Literally a week ago, they hit a new concurrent user record on a normal fucking random ass weekend in the middle of the year. Not even during vacation, in the middle of the fucking year. So yeah, the
Yeah,
game itself is doing great. Numbers
surprisingly.
wise, player wise.
The community,
Um
though, that's a different story.
yeah, the community. I assume you saw the Camilla
Yes.
clip as well. Yeah.
I saw the Camilla clip,
So
which kind of spawned all this.
yeah, that is basically where a lot of or most of this topic comes from, I guess. Um, the game is very different now. I'm very vocal about my opinion on like a lot of the lewd content and whatnot. I was kind of talking a lot about this earlier today, and basically everything I said then stands right now as well. I feel like I'm not gonna sit there and claim that I was like super influential. I'm nowhere near like Chromia how big she was and how much she has affected like um the trajectory of like content creation and like hell even to some degree Avatar and whatnot. But back when I was like when things were really blowing up for me, I got a lot of shit for being lewd, and I'm by no means. It wasn't as lewd as things are now. Now it's very very normalized, but I was definitely lewder than the average VOD streamer. So I got a lot of shit for it, whether for this or that reason, like just in general, I got a lot of flack for it.
I've heard the stories of
Yeah,
people saying that,
yeah,
oh, because you're a hapu and you're wiggling, that you're doing
yep,
wrong, gross stuff.
yeah,
But now you look at the fucking game, and
yeah.
uh, I think
And this,
oh, go on.
like you go
Well,
first.
no, you're gonna lose your thought, so you go.
Oh, yeah, I think it's fine this time. I was gonna say basically a lot of the like, well, there's two sides to this. The first part is that a lot of the people that were giving me flack, a lot of them has actually gone down that path themselves, which is very hypocritical, and that
Yeah.
is actually something that I'm very, very annoyed at. And usually, a lot of things that I like ran about and call out, I think it's very, very hypocritical of them. But then a lot of the other stuff, a lot of the people who haven't gone down that road but still give me flack, a lot of them have kind of just, I guess, accepted it because they don't really care anymore, which I guess you could argue is like two-sided as well. Like at some point you gotta like stop being emotionally invested in it when it's not gonna change. I can change it, you
Yeah.
can change it, we can change it. It's just how it is. It's the market. The
It's the
consumer is
culture.
always right. The only people who can actually change it is via chat themselves or Twitch. And I don't think either of those are gonna happen anytime soon.
Yeah, I think, and I said the word because the culture of it has been very much changed. Down to like people are people are kind of at the whim of what is available. And I remember a point that Camilla brought up was like back in the day there used to be cute anime girls and like cute outfits or whatever, and now people are all horny and doing all this. And I think back to that time, a lot of the outfits and a lot of the avatars that I remember were just MMD models. They were Miku Miku Dance. They didn't have big asses or big tits or anything. They were just cute anime girls from stuff like that. And the assets were the same. And like Raspy said, Booth happened and people created avatars and they became more and more voluptuous and had more assets and more features.
It became
And
easier,
through that, everything became easier.
more accessible.
Exactly. Now you can download an avatar, just pop it into Unity, click a couple buttons, upload it, and you've got an ERP ready model with,
Yeah.
marshmallow physics and all this bullshit.
Yeah, you got
Whereas
ba-
back in the day it was
you got
harder.
basically an infinite number of tools to help you make everything however you want it to be directly in Unity. Like for someone just starting out, you don't actually need Blender at this point. You can do everything you
Yep.
need to do to make the avatar yours directly in VRC or directly in Unity. And there's even people like if you want to really take it a step further, there's even people developing like tools like Hi, or Hey, or Hi, whatever how you pronounce his name.
I don't know what that
That
is.
kid and I was talking about it on Discord earlier a little bit.
Mm.
He's basically making tools that can generate like face tracking then shapes without destroying the model directly in Unity. He has
What the
different
fuck?
tools to generate like twist bones, a bunch of stuff like that. So even for like very, very complicated things, there are tools in the works.
And and that's just showing how much more accessible the game is now.
Yeah.
Like back in the day, meme avatars like that and shit posts were easy for one person to make and then for them to spread because just funny. So everybody
Yeah.
had, some shit post, some meme avatar model because they were around. They were easier to make. Just slap some shit together. You didn't have to worry about if it looked hot or if it had clothes that, you could pull off and change in different ways and accurately rip every thread count.
Ugh.
So the ease of
Yeah.
access and then also just yeah, hot women, hot anime women, people just horny. They get in this game and they're like there's also the stigma about it of ERP.
Yeah. That is also I was actually thinking about this as well. How I think the DPS and the additional like DPS dynamic penetration shader for those wondering. Okay, it's think a lot magnet or aim assist, literally.
Ooh.
It's aim assist that makes this point to
Whoa.
this, no matter what angle, basically.
Whoa.
That has
Yeah.
definitely shaped a lot of the like. It has made it again. It has made ERP and that loot side even more accessible, and also people who want, I guess, or hell, demand more immersion, they get more attracted because you don't no longer have two models just clipping into each other. Like they actually interact, like physically,
Yeah. It
and
looks
that's like actually
it's
a big thing.
one of like some of the early. I'll be honest. Some of the earliest VR stuff. Like you look at Steam, there's a fair bit of porn. People have always been wanting
Yes.
just like it was literally just a guy with a camera filming actual pornography in first person view. And that was like what people wanted. And so now if they can get as close to that with the technology now of DPS and SPS and all that stuff, people will want to do that because God, the internet has just gotten so much hornier lately. I have seen so many Brazilian Mikus getting absolutely plowed on Twitter lately. It's insane.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's just what the people want, I guess.
Yeah.
Chris is
Internet
not
in
on
general
Twitter.
has definitely gotten. Internet in
We
general has gotten like way, way, way looter, just in general, and obviously that's all definitely gonna rub off because VRChat is also a very, very internet culture influenced kind of environment where
hmm.
when there's a new meme, it will spread like wildfire in the game, like inside of VRChat and in the VRChat community.
That's actually really interesting because like VRChat has almost always been like that. Like you think back to the
Yes.
Renaissance. I remember so many jokes about Logan Paul in the forest and Tide Pods
Oh,
and Knuckles, like that era. There were so many
yeah.
fucking memes about that stuff. VRChat was so influenced by the culture. And I think just the internet culture in general, it is just getting more Coomer and Gooner and all this bullshit that I don't even know half the fucking terms anymore. But that's what the internet's talking about. That's what the internet's being like lately.
Yeah. The
That's what's going on.
Yes, Thermisher says that I think the internet getting looter is in response to lawmakers' attempt at stifling it. And I do think there's some level of truth to it, but it's not really
Kinda.
specifically with lewdness. I've kind of touched on this topic before. I think it has to do with it, like the larger issue at hand, where the issue isn't lewdness. The issue is people are tired of being told that what they think is wrong. And it actually, I unironically do think that a lot of that kind of behavior and those actions by governments trying to like limit, or not governments, but like companies like PayPal, Stripe, all those like payment processors, removing Lunas. I think things like that, and same with like more recently Gamergate and all that bullshit, like things like that actually like it radicalizes people. I actually think it does in the
I,
worst way possible.
I think in a similar way for like another subset, people are becoming more also just open about stuff. Like there's a section of people that are like radicalizing and being like everything is bad and you can't do this. But that's in response to people that are being like do be what you want to be. I don't, I like porn of all kinds or whatever. Like I like you can be who you want, whether it's just a sexual thing or not a sexual thing, in terms of this or that. It
Yeah.
just is. And people are becoming more I know I something I remember seeing of like in American television, you can't show a nipple. You show a nipple, suddenly bad, you can't do that. Like TV 17, TV 18, whatever. But people being gunned down and murdered and absolutely killed,
Yeah, or
explosions and
swearing.
shit. Or swearing. You can't say a swear word, but you can show all that, and that's fine. And so people are being
Yeah,
like, well, why not? Why can't you just why
yeah.
like you just do it?
I
What's the
think
problem?
I
Why
think the
why is
issue
this
is
the
that,
line?
yeah, people are getting tired of, like, specifically they see this, I guess, not really injustice, but like it doesn't make sense. Like you just
Yes.
explained, like you can show someone literally getting killed, but you cannot say fuck. That
Yeah.
that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
In it, like more and more people are like feeling that that doesn't make sense. Why is this? And it's like one example of, again, the larger issue where people are just getting tired of this.
Yeah. And as Kitten was saying, like it's never safe for kids, which they usually the excuse. It's just people don't want to be parents and they just want to sit their child in front of a thing and you know,
Yeah,
okay, look at the iPad. I'm gonna go live my life, and then that's how we get the brain rot that we have today.
yeah. Uh,
Anyway, I feel
yeah,
like we
no.
got off track of VR chat. This
Yeah,
is the
we
initial
did get a
topic.
bit off track, but I do think it kind of like comes together where,
Yeah,
because as I said, VHChat is kind of in a sense a very it's a to a big extent a visual representation of the internet. Like whatever is trendy, whatever is happening in the general internet, that's going to be represented in VRChat. And as we kind of have come to concluded is that internet is definitely getting more lewd. And you can see
yeah,
that like mirrored in the chat. And I
yes,
really do think that, yeah, VRChat is really just a visual representation of internet.
yeah. Because I mean, it's the virtual world. This is fucking forget like the games that don't work or like nobody play chill out VR, Rec Room, whatever the fuck. Was there like a meta thing? I don't know. I never learned too much about that. If there
Yeah,
was
there
like a
was a
metaverse,
meta. Yeah, they had something like that. They didn't have
but
legs, but then
like
they added legs or something.
yeah, this
But there's
game is the
nothing scales to VRChat.
yeah, this game is the closest thing you will get to like the visual representation of the internet.
Oasis.
The
Yeah,
Oasis, yeah,
it's a yeah,
new game. What was it?
Ready Player One.
Ready Player One. There we go. What's the new
Yeah,
game? New life. No game, no life. Yeah, I don't know. Either way, being isekai'd into the internet or whatever you want to call it. Uh,
yeah.
and so it makes sense that yeah, sort of. Yeah, probably sort of. I don't fucking know. I don't watch it. I barely watch anime. Uh, but yeah, this is as close as it gets.
Yeah.
And I guess the internet during like the good old days of VR chat, 2017, 2018, however, the good old days, by the way, differ from person to person. Like what? Because I know I started later than you, so like, what would you call the good old days?
I don't think there is like a definitive answer to that for me personally, because there's like different things that I miss and also think back about from like different periods of time. Like I have different times in my streaming career where it's been fun, but I also have moments like before streaming that I miss as well. I didn't really experience
Yeah.
much of the streaming community before 2020, so I can't really speak much about that aside from what I watched on Twitch. So yeah, I can definitely not pick out like one single point. It would be like multiple points for different reasons.
That's fair. Because like I can imagine for like for a lot of people, 2017, like the big meme boom, the boom for the game in general, that era was
Yeah,
probably good for a lot of
Knuckles.
people. But then also the start of the pandemic, when a lot more people were playing and people were stuck inside, that initial boom there, a lot of people look at as very fondly. because it was,
Yeah.
oh, we're gonna be stuck inside for like a month or so I get to just play video games and hang out with friends, and then that turned into like 2, 3 years. We're still technically, it still exists. It hasn't gone away, but people just don't take it
Yeah.
as seriously anymore.
Yeah,
Uh,
that one thing I do think very strongly is that Knuckles, in my opinion, is like, I love that meme. I think it's one of the best memes to ever have like
it's
happened
great.
in
That's
VR chat.
why you wanted the Mimi.
Yeah. And I would actually also say that like I don't really watch that many content creators in VR chat anymore. The few that I do watch are usually like friends, or if there's like
Yeah,
special events going on, stuff like that. So I don't really experience it from that kind of point of view anymore. But back in the day, I definitely miss the era from like 2018 probably to early 2019. I think those were like there was a lot of good content being made in VR chat back then.
yeah. I get. Here's the thing. Like, if I kind of wanted to play devil's advocate here a little bit of like any good time that you can think about. There were still like the game wasn't perfect, and or the culture
Yeah.
wasn't perfect. Like you say, 2018 to 2019. That was when a lot of good content was happening. But at the same time, around that era, I very specifically remember streamer lobbies were a huge thing. So you would look at the VR chat homepage and you would look at the top 8 streams, and they would all be the same world from a different point of view.
Yeah.
And like that, was it really that good? You know? You got given like, you had like Soul's view, you had Lolathon's view, you had Laxey's view, and CC, Leaf, just all these people. They're
Yeah.
friends and they're good people, but at that time it was just the culture for all the streamers to be in one big lobby. And now that would be it. You'd just get different POVs of 2 or 3 people doing a funny.
Yeah, that's the
That's
thing. Usually those lobbies they were like everyone was in the same lobby, yes. But usually there were like small subgroups in the lobby, so you didn't have everyone just reacting to the same thing. Like there was multiple things happening in different places in the room. Usually. Obviously exceptions. There were always exceptions.
I guess.
But back then it was definitely like usually you'd switch between different point of views because different things were happening. And I also think that as the game has become more advanced in the sense of you can do so much more now. Like back people need to realize that back then one of the like most advanced things that you would have basically was pens. Pens were
Yeah.
like a huge thing. That was like one of the only like big things. So that's also a big reason why presentation room and things like worlds like that were so big. So aside from that, most people had to rely on basically the community and players and content creators actually doing their own things using whatever they could. And avatars were not great back then. You didn't have SDK2, you didn't have SDK3, you didn't have all these like fancy avatar things. You had 8 expression slots you could use. Like inventory systems and stuff like that. Like nothing like that existed. It was a
Do you
very,
think
very different time. So yeah.
do you think that is a detriment of VR chat? Because I know for myself, and it's the way that I've thought about a lot of things. Not having access to so much stuff, not having the knowledge or the ability to do certain things makes you have to work with what you have. Like, because there's so much stuff, there's so many, like, things that you can do, and I look at, like, Wingman has a million avatars that do a million and they're cool things, don't get me wrong, and it's really unique, but at the same time, it's like, that's so much stuff. What happened to the simplicity of it? Like, no offense, like, the difference between me and you right now, you've got, like, all this you've got a million bones, your whole thing is custom made. I'm just a bunny. I'm just a guy. I don't have fizz bones, I don't have face tracking, I have the 6 gesture slots or whatever, the 8 gesture slots.
Yeah,
Working with what you have, with limitations, having limitations means you get to work within this bubble, and you have to if you wanna be unique, you have to innovate in that and kinda, like, figure out yourself there, as opposed to
yeah.
just, I can have, a million cool swords and all these wicked things and have these animations that blow up the world, and it's simple, and maybe that's just my point of view, but
No,
that like, that's
I
part of what
definitely
I
see
think.
what you mean. I think there's some truth to it. That yeah, as the game has more options, you need to rely less on it, and it also like increases or moves the bar up for standing out, so to speak. But on the other hand, it is an inevitability because if they don't innovate, if they don't improve the game and add new things, people will also get bored. Like the fact that
Very
they're
true.
adding new stuff is the very reason why the game stays relevant. So it's like it's the natural progression of things. It's just it happens. It's unavoidable.
Yeah,
I think at
I'll give you
least.
no, I believe that as well. As much as I believe in that, evolving is important. Like, I firmly believe by my stance of that, and I try to stick to it, but I understand that, yes, without evolution, without innovation, things get stale, people get bored, and they leave. So, I get it. I just,
Yeah.
all this stuff is overwhelming, and I'm like, I think I've done well with what I'm the funny bunny, haha. I do it without
Yeah.
the need of animations and stuff. I can do a toggle. I can change what my hoodie looks like,
Yeah. And
but that's about it.
to really use like the max example, Villian? Villian doesn't have any fancy things like that.
Yeah.
Villian,
Well, fuck you, man.
whether you like her or not for her personality, she's again, I've said this multiple times. She's an amazing content creator. She knows what she's doing, and she's very successful. And she is like, she's basically just personality.
Yeah.
Realistically,
Her
she does special
it's
events every now and then. She has some things, but generally speaking, it's her. It's her on
yeah.
her on screen.
It's like she just, took a Rindo model and changed the textures or whatever. And that's all that she
Yeah.
did. That's crazy.
Yep.
But yeah, that's my case in point. And she's one of the bigger current VR chat. She would you consider her a VR chat streamer? She uses it as a medium more than a content thing.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's a stupid label to put on someone. I've had many rants about this. I don't think there's any need to put a label like that. She uses it as a medium, and
Yeah,
I think that's where it should start, and also where it should end, in my opinion.
I know people just like
I don't
to
really have a proper or a good answer to it. I guess.
people like being able to put things in boxes, organizing. It makes people their neurons go happy.
Yeah,
I
but
don't know
it,
why.
it, it also like my issue with it is that people once people have a first impression, it is very difficult to change that first impression, whether it is
Yep.
a content creator, whether it is a game, whether it is a location, no matter whatever the fuck it is, people always have first impressions, and they are super fucking important. It doesn't matter what people say, when it comes to relationships and whatnot. Bullshit, all of it. First impressions matter a metric fuck ton, more than people realize. There are exceptions. It's not a black and white side. Like it's a gradient, but they do matter
Gradient?
a lot. So no, I think it's very stupid to label, because that is kind of where I think at least right now, a lot of the issues, and also a big reason why in the VTuber scene, there's like this inherent like gatekeeping against like, oh, you stream via chat, you're not a VTuber. That kind of mentality. It's so stupid. And that's big reason why I hate labels. And it's the same with everything. It doesn't just cover, VTubing and via chat. It covers, the LGBTQ and all things like that. I don't like labels, period. You should just judge a person based on the person, not based on what labels they have. In my
Double
opinion.
D would hate you. He loves labels. Labels everything in his house. Yeah, I get that. I don't know. Maybe, I mean, you would know better than I would. Like, I don't know who out there is actively saying you play VR chat, you're not a VTuber, go fuck yourself. Like, I don't know who is saying that, or if this is just a straw man in
That's
your
the
head.
thing. No, that's the thing. Nobody will actively say it to you, because nobody wants to be mean. Nobody wants to be,
Wow.
and nobody wants to make enemies, and nobody wants to tell anyone face to face like, you suck, you're below me. Nobody's got to tell that to someone unless they're like completely full of themselves, I guess. But
There
you know,
are people out there.
well, yeah, I'm thinking from the perspective of a content creator. So there's both the side of them not wanting to confront someone, but also them wanting to make sure that their public image isn't damaged, quite literally. Because saying something like that will definitely hurt your image. And it's kind of the same as with, sponsorships. Even if the company doesn't tell you it directly, if you get sponsored to play a game, if you just get sponsored to review a product or do something like that, it's not written in text usually, unless asked. That's how I found out about this specifically. But there's an expectation that you will deliver this promise with a positive attitude. Like you're endorsing the product without endorsing it, basically. And I think it kind of overlaps.
Anyway, thank the Raiders. I'm gonna hit my AC.
Scatterjip thinking with a raid. Yeah. There we go. Welcome. We're doing the Unscripted Toast podcast. The
That was a
Boshir.
lot quicker than I thought. Hello, it's me.
Yee. Hi, Fenrir. Kind of just discussing stupid things, random things. That's part of the reason we have lost around disclosing which reviews are paid sponsored. Yes, but even if you say that it's a sponsored thing, there's still the expectation. Like, that game that approached me asking if I wanted to do it, I asked, we asked, we want to do this. We accept the rates that they offered, but we want to make sure that I'm allowed to speak my mind. And they said they didn't want to risk it because they need favorable, I don't know what word specifically to use, but yeah, basically.
Which means they don't believe in their game.
Exactly. Well, to some degree. They don't believe in it enough, at least.
Yeah.
Just like does a stream with PNG VTubers, they often get looked down upon. If you're not spending big bucks on a model, you're not really a real VTuber. Yeah, that's another example of like gatekeeping. And
Yeah, that's
sorry,
stupid.
I got very off
Yeah.
track. But back to what you like originally asked,
What was I gonna
how
say?
nobody will actually like, is this a straw man or is this something that people actually say?
Ah,
The answer is no, it's not something that people actually say, but it is 100% there. I have
Hmm.
talked with people who have given me like behind the scenes where they are kind of like, you shouldn't work with them, or don't do this, don't be associated with this or that, things like that. They will never tell you directly, but just like with the sponsored, it's everywhere in the industry, sadly. And it's not like only in the VTuber scene. This is relevant, or what's the word?
w-
It's around, I
relevant?
guess. But yeah, it's
Surrounding?
this exists in every content creation industry. There's always some levels of gatekeeping. And to go one step further, I think a lot of gatekeeping comes down to wanting to prevent others from becoming bigger than you, the person who's gatekeeping.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to.
Yeah. They're afraid that other people may be more popular or get more attention or more famous than them, so they're just like, I don't know, fuck you, you can't join. Kind of fucked
Yeah.
up, but yeah, I have heard that. I think I don't know. This doesn't have to do with anything. I think there needs to be, because if we're still on like VR chat,
Yeah, kind of.
the I don't know like how to seamlessly put this through, but like there needs to be a State of the Union, but like a state of VR chat, where like every year we just need somebody to talk about like what the fuck is happening and how people can be better or whatever, or like the amount of streams. I mean, not calling anybody out specifically, but like the TIE fighter cameras. You know those people.
Not
It's like,
that.
hey, if you like, why is this what the top of the VR chat category is?
I think a big reason why VRChat does not get involved in stuff like that is because they don't want to police. One, it's a lot of extra work, and someone has to get paid to do that work. So there's a lot of cost for realistically not really any return. Um, it doesn't really hurt like it doesn't really hurt the game from, at least what I can see slash think of, from like a business perspective. Um, hey, I also don't like the idea of having like some kind of authority like that. I think that inherently is bad. And if you want, I don't really know what you have in mind. If it would be like a VRC governed thing, or if it would be like a community governed thing.
I I mean, I would imagine it would be I don't know, just like taking the general consensus from people either around you or in the community or on Twitter or in Discord or whatever, and then just being like, okay, here's what people are saying. Have one person just get up on a fucking podium and just speak out and be like, hey, there, there's too much of this is happening, or like this is becoming a problem. I don't know. I haven't thought much on it.
Okay, but
basically, I just thought state of VR chat as like a State of the
Yeah.
Union address.
Who would you put on that podium?
Me. No, I don't know. It couldn't be anybody like on the VR chat team. I'll say that. I wouldn't want it to be like a Tupper or something because there's going to be inherent bias. It has to be from the community. It has to be
Okay.
a person, not even necessarily a streamer, but just somebody.
But how do you appoint that someone? Because to give you an example of quite literally what you're talking about, you have Twitch ambassadors, and dear God,
We
you
talked.
know very
We
well
didn't
how
talk about that
bad
last
that
time,
is going. Yeah.
but yeah, not in a bad. Again, I think it would just be grab somebody who's just in the VR chat community. Maybe even somebody who's been around for a while, who just isn't like, who just isn't massive or whatever. I don't know. Man, this was just an
I can
idea
I
that I saw the
yeah.
video and I was like, huh,
I
words.
see what you mean, but personally I don't think it could work, and I don't want to see it. Because I don't really want anyone to. I don't want anyone in a point of authority to tell what you can and can't do in a game like this, because that's like the one thing that
It's
VHA has.
I don't
VHA
know if it's
has unprecedented freedom in a like community in an online game.
I don't think it's telling people, hey, stop doing this. It's more of we've noticed this is happening, that this is becoming a thing. We're not going to tell you to stop, but like this, we're letting you know that this is, how people view the game or whatever, or how people see this or whatever. I completely understand you.
I still don't like it. I much more prefer like a self-regulating market, like letting the market decide on its own what they want, basically.
Damn, I can't believe
Um,
Todd is a communist, socialist. What is it? I don't know politics. It's one of those free market.
no,
I don't know.
it really has nothing to do with that. I want things to happen by themselves, because when it happens by themselves, generally or usually, what the majority of people want, that's what's going to happen. And kind of like Sakura said, if that's not the content you want to see, don't consume it. The users decide what content is king. That's quite literally it. Right now,
Fair.
being lewd is meta, because that's what users want. There will probably come another meta, probably very soon. Wouldn't be surprised. And it could be something lewd. It could be something completely different. We don't know.
But aren't you one of the people that
But
complains about the titty streamer with flying camera? Isn't that something that you've talked about being annoyed by?
yes, I am annoyed by it. But I'm also very open that I cannot decide what is right and what is wrong. That is not for me to decide. Me disliking it, that's my personal opinion. It's not on me to say that they shouldn't do it. That's not what I've been saying. My entire point with what I'm saying is that I don't I compare it to basically how much work and effort goes into something. Like comparing to like our Christmas events, there's like
Yeah,
months upon months of blood, sweat, and literal tears. You know,
yeah.
and
But
this is also kind of like wrong mindset, because at the end of the day, again, the users, the consumers, they decide what is worth their time. They decide what they want to watch and spend their time on. There's no obligation. There's no what's the word when you're like when you feel like you have oh fuck,
pressure,
what's the word? Not pressure, like
Incentive? I don't know.
No, when you have a
Obligation. Sounds like
entitlement.
it.
I do
Ah,
not have entitlement to viewers' time. I do not have the right to make that call. So, as much as I want to say, like, we put hours upon hours upon hours into the Christmas event, and then I know for a fact that, yeah, I could just put on a bikini and dance for 4 hours and probably pull double the viewers. This is an actual reality. One of these
yes.
two takes months of work. One of these takes, at best, hours of work. And I guess staying in shape. But that's not really a big issue as well, because you're going to do this daily. And when you do it daily, you will stay in shape. And there is the like other side of this coin where one will build a community, the others is just quick, easy viewers. And that is kind of like a personal, you know, moral decision of what type of content creator you wanna go down. Personally, I guess you could argue I'm jealous over the fact that I could go the easy route and pull better viewers, or not better views, pull better views. Wrong wording. And it does suck, but that's just the reality of it. Because again, I don't. There's no. I'm not entitled to viewers' time. Again, consumers decide what they want to consume. So as much as I can sit here, as much as I am sitting here pointing these things out, what my opinion on things like this, on lewd content, it doesn't matter. If the users want that type of content, that's what user want. I'm not gonna change that. I can't change that. It's just how it is. So
Yeah.
it's
I mean, life is
yeah.
unfair. It would be nice
Yeah,
if
life is
the
unfair.
work that was put into something equated to, you know, the return value or whatever, or however you want to put it. But
Yeah. I will
yeah,
100% stand here and say, and this is definitely, yeah, I'm pretty sure I've said this before. I know this pisses people off. Feel free to clip it out of context. Being lewd is less effort than not actual content, but being less lewd is less effort than being funny. I will say that. There's a lot of work, a lot of like psychological small things, small decisions, like micro timing decisions you make to make a joke fit. It's about timing, it's about delivery, it's a lot about a lot of like small things that adds up.
power.
Yeah. And again, bringing up Fillion. Great example here. Fillion doesn't really do lewd stuff. She does occasionally have those like, you know, flashing chats, things like that.
Flashbang.
But that is not her content. She does jokes, whether for better or worse. But she does it good. And comedy is an insanely difficult job. Yeah.
Would you look at me?
I'm love
I don't do
sorry.
comedy as my job. I just do it as a hobby.
Yeah.
Do it.
That's how he usually starts out.
Yeah, I don't something like stand up. God, I could never do stand up. That is awful.
Yeah, but
yeah,
that's
I
like a
mean,
different type of comedy as well. Like, would you do? I wouldn't call that stand up.
yeah.
Like, there's like,
I'm sitting down right now.
okay, buddy. No, what I mean is, there's like having the ability to bounce off of someone. It's like reactionary comedy almost. Like, I'm not talking about reaction content, reaction Andy stuff. I'm just like, I'm going
Yeah.
against, but what I said and putting a label on it.
Yeah, I don't. That's the thing. Like when you're like, oh, you know, I mean, maybe it is just because of me and my experiences, but like being funny is harder than like wiggling and you know horny bait. I can much easierly stand in front of a camera and say dumb shit for 2 hours than I could to, like, make a sexy model or get a sexy and, like, wiggle. Like, that is just awkward. I don't know if I could do that.
Yeah, I would say that has to do more with like confidence. It's the
I
same as
guess.
if, perfect example, it's the same as with me and talking at first. It's like literally opposite side of the shoes or table, whatever you want to call it.
True. Maybe that's why we have a podcast, because 'cause we're such opposites. I'm a top, you're a bottom. I'm cool, you're a nerd. You know, it all makes sense now. You see, you're even agreeing with me. I'm glad that you've come to my side.
Uh, Legal ending funny. Um,
What the fuck, Shane? I'll fucking I could. Shane's like a paper sandwich. He could be topped by like anybody.
yeah. I don't know. It's a very interesting topic, and like there's no real easy answer. But at the very end of the day, users or viewers decide what is the meta. Viewers decide what content is popular.
You just have to make the content that the viewers want, or that they
Yes,
don't
you
know
have
that
to
they
figure
want.
out.
Then you
Yeah, and
win.
that's kind of what like people who create a new meta. That is kind of like what makes them stand out as a really good content creator. They find the new meta, finding uncharted territory, quite literally.
It's just hard though, because you have to figure out
Yeah,
what you have to be ahead of that.
and
You
it
have
takes
to not just be ahead of it, you have to create that curve.
yeah, and it takes a lot of testing. Like they don't just jump from one meta to the next meta. They jump from one meta to like 50 attempts to maybe the next meta. Like it takes a lot of testing and trial and error.
Do you know how many like big content creators started off with like COD commentary videos back in the day? And then they figured out their niche and then they got big. But
Yeah,
they were on that boat trying to figure shit
yeah.
out.
Actually, kind of what we were discussing earlier as well. So, and this is very ironic when we realize just how big of the gatekeeping mentality is against VRC content creators, or just VRC in general, really, not specifically content creators, but so fucking many VTubers had either been part of the VRChat community, started out in a VRChat community, or have been a VRC content creator at some point. Like, so many of them.
You look at Rose, you look at Zentrea, you look at I think
Yeah,
Camilla was somebody who started or got big on VR chat at least. She was talking about.
yeah,
They
Veve.
all were
Like,
very
and these
Vebe.
are just like the people we can think of. There's been, because of all the drama, we know for a fact that a bunch of needy Sanya people are actually playing the game fairly regularly on secret
I didn't
accounts.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we know for a fact that a lot of Hololive members have been VRChat players before they became Hololive players. If I
The
remember
Elizabeth.
correctly, Gura, yeah, yeah. Just before you say too much, it's
Yep.
VTuber etiquette to not. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But Elizabeth,
Um.
she said it in her debut. It was on her list of favorite games, VR chat.
Oh,
She
yeah.
straight up
As
said
long as
it.
you don't
Yeah.
mention the
Yes.
actual name.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. But yeah.
But yeah. Sin
Um.
Gura.
Yeah.
Gura
Yeah.
used to play
Gura
VR
before she
chat.
was Gura, when she was Sensawa. And the only reason why I'm saying this is because I know the only reason why I'm saying this is because it's like the most widespread known thing.
But
But
still, you
yes,
just
it
said it
is.
was etiquette, and I was like, okay, I won't say their name.
Wait,
And then you literally not even 30 seconds later, like, oh, Gura, when she was blank. Follow your own fucking etiquette, asshole. Jesus. That's why I was like,
No
Gura used to
etiquette at
play, and
all.
I didn't say their name, and I stopped myself from reading
Oh,
Chris's comment. God.
okay. Sorry.
Anyway, you were
Um,
saying.
yeah, Gura used to play. Anyways, so Sensala, someone completely different.
Yeah. What happened to
Yeah,
her?
they, from what I understand, they were a somewhat fairly active player, which is, I don't know for like the full details. I don't know the exact extent, but
She at least played at some point.
everyone knew who was
We know
Gura when
that.
she and me Belad on stream. Yeah, as I said, this is like nobody actually like that's like the one name people don't care about at all.
One of the biggest fucking
But yes,
VTubers.
you're correct.
Yeah.
You're correct. Don't worry. I'm in the wrong. I shouldn't do it. Yes. I apologize. I don't. Fuck you.
You've made a sincere and continuous lapse in your
Severe.
judgment. Severe, that's what it was.
No, fuck you. If you cry about it. Anyone who's upset
Oh
about
my
it, cry
God.
about it. But yeah. It's funny.
Yeah. Yeah, the people that are gatekeeping, some of them were part of the community before. It's crazy just how much time has passed with
Yeah.
that. You think about Hololive, it's been like 4 years.
Yeah. Dude,
I
I
remember
remember when
Gura
Gura was like
debuting.
just blowing
Yeah,
up. Yeah. Like when
like
was
I was
meme.
there for, I think, some of their debuts. I didn't say anything, but I was like watching because I was like, "Oh, VTuber, I know Kizuna Ai. This could be interesting." And then now,
Yeah.
4 years later, there's like, I think,
Yeah.
4 different
Hololive really exploded
people.
during the pandemic. Well, in the Western scene, they were pretty big before in like Japan and stuff.
Yeah.
But during the pandemic, that's when VTubing really took off.
Yep.
And I think I unironically think a big reason why is because VTubers, they give a sense of like it's my friend, quite literally. Like it's very parasocial.
Parasocial.
I
I mean,
remember
it
watching. I remember specifically watching Soda Poppin on Steak and Eggs, OTK's podcast, and he's together with Weiwei, for those who don't know, and he was talking a lot because in his own words, and what I'm saying this is like public, so don't worry. He was saying in his own words that he had seen a lot of how VTuber fan bases are, specifically from like that side. And he said it's the most parasocial, like, not community, but like
atmosphere.
industry, I guess, atmosphere, out of like all the ones that he is like seeing.
Yeah, I mean, it's
VTubing is
also
VTubing are digital idols. Yeah.
yes, it's because I don't think he's been a part of idol culture, Soda Poppins, but idol culture is insane with the parasocialness.
Oh yeah.
Like
Oh
that
yeah.
is bad. And
I've
so you
heard.
take that and you combine it with anime, which people are also very protective of this is my favorite waifu, all the way back since the fucking Neon Genesis
Yeah.
Evangelion days. You know, it's combining those
Agency
two cultures.
VTubing. Yeah, agency VTubing is definitely worse because that shares so much more with the actual like idol culture. Like that is
Yeah,
like
they
as
have
close to idol
concerts.
culture as you can get when it comes to VTubing.
I mean, they are idols. They're literally idols. They have
Yeah,
groups, they have
digital
performances,
idols,
they have
like
concerts.
Romeo said. Yeah, virtual idols. So again, I think a very big reason why DTubing blew up so much during the pandemic is literally because people were separated. People were in
They
quarantine.
wanted that
They were alone,
feeling
right?
of
That's
thing.
yeah. They wanted someone to feel like they wanted to not feel alone.
And that's also why a lot of people got in the VR chat at the time. Is because this is as
Yeah.
close to, I can
Yeah.
pretend to give you a hug. Nothing's actually happening, but it's that illusion of closeness, that illusion of company.
Yeah. I think that's a big attraction point for a lot of people. And probably a big reason why there's a lot of people who are straight up addicted to VR chat, because
Yep.
specifically that something they might not have. They might not have someone in real life. They might not have that in real life. They might have a super shitty job, so they come home and they get in here where they feel like they belong.
Yeah. And again, to the conversation that definitely didn't happen before, you can be an idealized version of yourself.
Yeah.
That's why people enjoy this game, and I mean that's partly that honestly contributes probably to the way that it's gotten more lewd and more sexual. Of people want to look like something they want to fuck. Apparently, that's what I've learned.
Yeah. Yep. Streamers and talking about me though. Parasocial. Goddamn it, Echo. I liked VSC because full of dumb people and weebs like me.
Now who's she referring to? Dumb people and
Dumb
weebs.
people. I don't know.
I don't know. Dude, okay, hold up. I want to, since Chromie is here, I saw her earlier, and she posted a GIF of like an attractive, anime man. Stereotypical sharp jawline. He had bunny ears and like a suit, and she was like, "Oh, if Boshi looked like this instead of Big Chungus," insinuating that I look like Big Chungus in the first place. But also, like, why? What does that mean? Wh- are you? Is she saying that I would be more attractive? That I would look better if I were a a fucking sharp-shouldered, pointy chin, uh, steely-eyed e-boy, or not e-boy, but what is that genre called? Again, labels. Like, no offense to like Skull, but like that type of avatar and build and look. 'Cause it's not an e-boy necessarily. E-boy is like chains and tattoos and
Yeah,
emissions and all
Eva's
that.
is like the more like super muscular, literally
Yeah.
Giga Chad jawline for no reason at all.
It's what's the like the shoujo? Show like
By
not
Shonen, aka Pretty Boy. I
shown,
think
yeah, yeah.
that's a good title actually. Yeah, Pretty Boy.
Yeah, pretty boy. There that's probably it.
The idolized Japanese man, I guess.
Yeah, the
I would
one
say
who are in
that's
like
like
the animes
yeah,
or the mangas of like, oh, I'm a
yeah,
I'm a I'm a frail little lady, and this big man is gonna protect me and take me to a fantasy world.
yeah,
That I think it's called shoujo, something like that. Because it's not shonen. Shonen is like Naruto, let's go. It's something
uh,
like that.
and yeah. To just go back for a second, and because
Yeah,
Komi mentioned
sorry,
something that I found
got
kind of
distracted.
interesting is that now it feels like I'm going to some club or disco. The people I always avoided IRL talking about the average community now.
Yeah,
Um, I think partially, at least, a reason for that being, um, in here, I think it's part reason that that type of people is like not idolized, but like that's like the popular people in
They're the
real life.
popular kid.
And let's be real here, most people who play via chat are not the like center of attention type of people in real life. They're usually
We're not Tanner.
yeah, to put it bluntly, we joined this game for a reason.
Escapism.
Realistically,
Our
yeah,
real lives are sadder and
yeah, and
more disappointing.
I think this is also part of the reason why not everyone does this, but out of everyone that joined this game, a portion of us, realistically, they idolize that group of people that, as you said in your own words, that you avoided in real life because in their mind they're idolized. And kind of like what Boshi was saying, how in here we can be the perfect version of ourselves. So they become what they can't be in real life. So they go to these clubs to be that group of people that in their head is like the popular people.
Yeah,
Because in
they
their
have-
mind, if you go up to a
Yeah.
group of like e-boys in a public, they're not gonna be self-aware and be like, ha, e-boys were a bunch of losers.
Yeah,
No,
they're like
in that group of, in that community, they are the
they're the
cool
kids.
people and we are the losers.
They're getting a sense of power and an air of I'm better than you that they don't have in real life.
Yeah.
To be bluntly honest.
Yeah, and this exists like in all the communities to some extent, at least. There's some level of this. Like we all seek again to find the place where we fit in, and yeah. To some extent, it exists everywhere. I think, but I think that's like a very
It's
very
easier to
good example, I guess.
Yeah. Me and my big buff 7-foot e-boy avatar in a Just Be Club group plus. I'd love to see Echo like that. But then just still hear her very like high pitched hi voice coming out of it. I can't imitate her because I don't have those vocal cords, but it'd be a very good juxtaposition.
We need this now. Yeah, you know your like buff or chat version of yourself. Like we
Yeah.
need that, but Echo.
Oh, can you do? Well, I mean, yeah, you can show this. I'm a man. Uh, oh,
Yeah.
wait, hold up. Okay, I'm gonna do this. That way you can see that I'm wearing shorts. You need to look like this, Echo. But that's the thing. Like you
Yep.
say, I mean, I don't know what it says about me that like I don't go around like this, like an idealized version of myself. I don't look like this in real. I look far for like this in real life, but I wouldn't want to look like this. I like
No,
how I
yes.
look. I like just comfy hoodie, all that.
I think the idea of an idolized version of themselves, that doesn't have to be what you would expect. Like this is my own idolized version of myself. And you don't see me with the typical expected hourglass shape with boobs big enough to have their own gravity belt.
I mean, you're
In
still
fact,
shaped. What do you mean?
well, yeah,
Still,
I would argue it's more tone rather than like curvy.
I guess you got hips, but yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
But that's
Dice.
yo, Fubu. Hi Fubu. Fubu's cool.
Fubu is really cool.
Um is there anything else about this? I mean, I'm sure there's more, but I'm trying to think of like what to say right now about VR chat and like
Yeah,
this whole thing.
I think we covered a lot of this.
All right.
They're going in a lot of circles as well. Like it all often
Yeah.
leads back, and I do think a lot of this stuff is like interconnected because, again,
It's so much of our lives.
VTubing is probably not as influenced by internet trends as much as VRChat is, but because VTubing is connected to VRChat to some extent, VRChat is like the connection point. You have VTubing here, and then you have the internet culture here, and they connect here on VRChat, kind of.
Yeah. You like a great example of that is unless you are Hololive and have a shit ton of money and a studio built, anytime there's like big VTuber crossovers or stuff like that, it usually happens in VR chat. Like they usually do these get-togethers or New Year's parties or whatever. You look at your Nyanners, your Vebes, your Rose, Bao, whatever. It's usually in VR chat because it's just an easy way to do that. It is the connection point.
Yeah. There's that is ever VTuber's VTuber grandma. I'm not entirely sure what that means.
I don't know who you're reading, but
Kid him.
is every VTuber's grandma. Are they saying grandma? Yeah. Like VR chat is the god like the starting point and people have evolved from
okay,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're descendant from VR chatters.
Kind of.
Hey, during all the Camilla, or you should probably say it, you're the more famous one. You should, if you ever want to VR chat, go to this purple one. Invitation to, you want to be on a podcast, you want to just hang out and chill or whatever. This purple one here, twitch.tv/Totless. She would love to collab, right? Hang out. She's funny. And if she's not funny, then I can come and I can be funny.
I hate this so much.
You clip it and ship it. There you go. Hello.
I hate calling things out like that.
Hello.
On stream.
Hello. Make sure you get all the I hate VTubers in the in the chat. That way they look at the chat during the clip and they're like, wow, her chat hates VTubers. I should definitely join them.
Yeah. I hate Bugs Bunny. And then we have the one Chromia.
Yeah, well, I'm glad that there's no Bugs Bunny here for you to hate Chromia. What do you have against Warner Brothers? They've done nothing wrong ever in their lives, right? What has Warner Brothers ever done that made you hate Bugs Bunny? Like what? Like, huh? Anyway, you need to be more fucking open and be more like into, hey, collab, not the sex one.
Yeah, I know. Trust me, I've had plenty of talks. Not plenty of talks, but I have had a couple of talks with Mr. Mimi about this, and it's complicated. It's not that complicated, but it is complicated. It's a very, very...
Sorry.
It's complicated because of stupid-ass moral reasons. My moral compass says that you do not call people out like that. You do not say, hey, if you wanna collab. My moral compass says that's disrespectful. But no, realistically it's not. That's what everyone does. They're making jokes like that back and forth, and someone sees it and they're like, hey, sure, why not? That could be cool.
That's
it's a road bump that I need to get over, like mentally. I understand that, but Easier said than
awkward.
done.
But yeah, like
Yeah.
that's listen, that's why I'm here to look at the camera and say, "Hey, Camilla, uh chat start spamming it. Hey, Camilla, is like the it's like the political Camilla, Camilla, you're purple. No, she's pink. You're pink, and Todd is purple. So you two can make what do pink and purple make? Pinkish
I
purple?
have no fucking
Magenta?
clue.
I guess magenta, right? No, that's purple and
Yeah,
red.
magenta. That would
Pink and
be
you two can
well.
make magenta to get. What does Camilla do?
Yeah, that
I don't.
a
Do we
lot
know
of
much
us
about her?
chatting.
Just chatting.
Yeah, I
Okay,
watched a
you
fair
could.
bit.
Well, in VR chat, like if she wants to play VR chat, she mentioned she was playing VR chat more. So, Camille, yeah, it's probably this has been more than a minute. I don't think it's gonna make it in the clip.
Hey,
And then
Camilla,
you
if you see this
you
and wanna do something, it would be cool.
and then you
If
add
not,
you do the Twitter. It's either on
you're cool
Twitter or
still.
subreddit. Yeah. Sorry, I was talking over. She was saying how much cool you are. And hey, Ken Ash, sorry. Anything else you want to talk about with that, or we good? We want to talk about the topic that derisive opinions.
Yeah, that topic. I need to rush to the bathroom quick. But
Oh,
then we can talk about it.
well,
Yeah.
chat. You know what time it is then. It's time to talk about apples.
There we go.
So
All yours.
I'll move more in frame. Apples. So today, chat, I've got a lovely apple for you, and I'll say it's the Red Delicious apple. Everybody knows the Red Delicious apple, right? It's one of the most common apples, right? You all know. Gather around, chat. Gather around. It's time to talk about no, not red apples. Red Delicious. It's very commonly known. Um, and that's for Ben to pull up the image. The Red Delicious. Stop scattering. Stop scattering. You come assemble and gather round as I tell you about the Red Delicious apple, or as it's known by its tagline, coffee grinds in a leather glove. Boomer, thank you for the 5 gifted. That's not to me, but I'm sure Tot would be very happy. So we are starting from we're not we'll skip around some, but this is not quite the bottom, but very low down, which you would think Red Delicious. That's one of the most, popular ones. So the Red Delicious. Coffee grinds in a leather glove. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Believe it or not, the coffee grinds in a leather glove known as the Red Delicious apple was once a robust firebrand credited with reinventing the apple from the mere cider fruit into a full-fledged lunch-worthy side piece.
Rittigeiler asked me,
It even
Boshi
won
time
the
is
Stark
giving us the
Brothers
apple
Apple
talk.
contest
What do we
in
do?
1894.
Oh, great. Another apple
Likely
talk.
your
How many more
great-grandma's
times
favorite
do we
apple.
need to hear
This once flavorful
Maybe we can ask
Prometheus has
Boshi to
been
switch to something
mass-produced
else,
into
or we could spam
desolation.
the chat with funny memes and
Nowadays,
see if they
as
get
you
the
can
hint.
find this thick-skinned, flavorless,
If all
mealy
else fails,
imposter unwashed in a
just
dirty
pretend
wicker
to be
basket
super
on the floor of a
interested and
convenience
hope
store.
they move on
What a
quickly.
sad state of affairs. It's time to hang them up, old man. Your time has passed. Bonus 2 points for historical significance. You couldn't hear a single word that I was saying because of the AI, and I didn't have it pulled up. But do note that, is this Pink Lady? No, this is the Red Delicious apple. People, get with the program. I'm so mad and so full of anger that I'm going to hit my AC, and you're gonna have to hear it this time. I muted myself last time. That's you, chat. I want you to imagine that was you that I just hit. Either way, the Red Delicious is not a good apple. You have far better options. Don't get the Red Delicious. I did the right one. Shut the fuck up. Oh. Why hit us? Because you aren't giving me the respect that I deserve. I'm trying to be here and educate you all on apples. I don't know why I spoke like that, but I did. Let me sit back down. Heart, what the fuck, Scrags? Mods, can we ban Scrags? Thank you. Join me next time for more apple reviews, where we'll talk about even more apples. Red apples or green apples? I'm more a fan of green apples. I don't really like apples in general. I'm more of a pear guy. I'm into pears. Welcome back. I told them about Red Delicious apples, which have overstayed their welcome and have gotten worse with time. It's quite a sad state of affairs.
Apple reviews. Which one did you
Yeah.
say?
Red Delicious. Don't get it. It's not a good apple.
Red
You have
Delicious.
far better options.
Don't get it. Okay.
Yes. We'll get to some of the
Yep.
better ones in the future. Like I'll probably give you the best apple next stream, next podcast. I had to think about it. I almost said next week, and I was like, it's not next week. It's 2 weeks from now. If the pink lady kind of guy, no. I'll give you a hint. I'm more of a sweet tango apple kind of guy,
I
or a
have.
honey crisp. Anyway, welcome back.
Yeah. I don't think I really have a favorite myself. Well, at least I don't know like what the names would be.
You heard it here first. We're gonna get an apple review. We're gonna buy every single kind of apple, and Todd is going to review them on stream. You're gonna be safe from
No.
doctors for like years, Todd. You'll be safe.
Hell
Don't
yeah.
worry. You don't gotta worry. Anyway, the
Yeah.
topic at hand.
Yes.
Chat, are you a fucking animal or do you have self-respect? Because if you're an animal, you probably don't put the cart away after you've used it for the grocery store.
Yeah. This topic is like so stupid, but
All right.
it's kind of something we realized a little over time. I think for the raid, Pinky. Hope you had a good stream. We were discussing this a fair bit in the Discord. We basically found out that, well, I kind of known it already, but I don't even know how to really lead into it. Basically, America, America's one of the few countries that basically don't have it as a step and the shopping cart back to where you grabbed it. It's very common to just leave it wherever you know, when you packed in everything in your car.
Yes.
In most
Or they
other
just put it on the
countries,
curb.
especially in Europe, in most places in Europe, we have a thing like where we put like a quarter or some kind of coin in, so you get it back when you put it back, but it's just to like you can't grab it putting the coin, and that is something that we realized that it acts as an incentive to bring it back. But the overall big question is, do you put it back? I guess.
I'll say this. I'm not an animal. I put it back. This is the exact reason that human beings, I don't believe, can self-regulate. Because as the simple task of putting a cart back, there is no incentive to gain. There is no for places in America, there is no monetary gain. You don't lose money, like over there with quarters or whatever. It is simply of if you are a good person or not. If you take the 30 seconds that it takes to walk from your car to the trolley thing, the area to put the carts back, It is simply about whether you are a good person or not to do that. And the amount of times that I have gone to supermarkets and there have been carts just in lanes, sometimes in straight up in the middle of a parking spot, that I am like, we cannot successfully self-govern.
Yeah.
There needs to be some form of authority for human beings, because if not, that is exactly what will happen, because that is a prime example. You are
I
not
think
a good
the
person if you do not put your card back, because
yeah,
it's a test of character. That's all it is.
yes. And that is actually that's a perfect way to lead into I was about to say. What Owen posted was a video that kind of went over this. And
Cart narcs?
she, if I remember correctly, I don't
Oh.
remember exactly, but it was some kind of video. It was basically, this is like what you said. It's the test how good people a country have. That's the test. Like, do the people in the country put the shopping cart back or not? That tells a lot about the type of people who live there.
Your voice is kind of...
Oh.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. It is. And here's the thing, because here's why. Here is the number one fucking reason that people will say it and do it here in America. It's somebody else's job. It's somebody's job to do that. They pay somebody to do that. No, they do not.
Yeah.
They pay somebody to go to the trolley area, collect the carts, and bring them back. Not to go out into the parking lot, find the one cart hidden behind somebody's parking spot in a separate parking spot and put it back. And even then, do you go into a fucking grocery store and start knocking shit onto the floor so that there's like, glass jars and shit with drinks in it, and being like, well, it's somebody's job to clean it up. They pay somebody to clean up this mess. No, they don't. It's somebody's job to clean up, yes, but you have no reason to make people's jobs harder.
Yeah.
For you to go out of your way for fucking 20 to 30 seconds. I'm sorry, Sakura. But it
Bringing up PTSD to him.
it's bringing up PTSD for me. The amount of people, like,
Yeah.
okay, I mentioned cart narcs.
I hate that excuse.
Because it is a channel on YouTube with a person,
Yeah.
and they go around, and
Yeah, I've seen it.
yes, but for explaining for chat, they find somebody who is in the process of leaving the cart in a place where the cart should not be. They go up to their car and they slap a little bumper sticker on of being like, I don't put my cart away, whatever. It's just a little thing. It's a magnet. It doesn't hurt the car. It doesn't do anything. You can literally just take it off the second that you get home, whatever. But there will be people that will stand there and argue with them of like, it's somebody's job, or I'm too busy, to put the cart away. But again, those
Yeah.
people that use the excuse of I'm too busy, I need to get home soon, like quickly, will stand there and argue for 20 to 30 minutes about not putting their
Yep.
cart away instead of taking the fucking 30 seconds.
I think that's like the takeaway from it.
Yeah.
It takes literally not even a minute to just make someone else's day easier and being a nice human. But instead, in these videos, because I've seen them as well, I'm pretty sure you linked them as well.
Yes,
they will
probably.
instead spend like minutes and hours to argue about it.
And it just it shows to me that there are so many people out there that just do not give a shit about other people and only care about themselves. And that is not all of society, but there are people there. It is the worst recesses of society. And they're just all around you.
that actually made me think. I wonder if
Oh,
that might be correlated to. Oh, hi Ichi. Thank you for
Ichi,
to
hello.
not get sidetracked.
Yeah.
I think that might actually be correlated with tipping, because I feel like that
Oh,
shares a lot of the entitlements. To be fair, most people don't really have a realistic issue about it, and in most cases, like, I'm very outspoken against tipping. I think it's fucking stupid.
mhm.
But if the service is nice, if people are nice about it, I have no issue tipping. But it should be optional. And I think the issue here is like the entitlement.
Yeah. The people that ask for tips and stuff like that where they're not really needed and feel like
Again,
they
we're
are
expecting
entitled
it.
to it, again, are the minority of people that are the problem with society. I think the bigger problem is the fact that there are jobs and places that you need tips to survive and make a livable
Yeah.
wage. Like, that's the real issue there. But yeah, the people that, like, you're at McDonald's, you say, "Hey, can I get a number 4 with a large Sprite?" And they're like, "Oh, sure. Is that for here to go?" For here. And then they have the little thing pop up of like, "Would you like a 15 or a 20% tip?" And it's like, "You didn't fucking do anything. You pushed 2 buttons on your little thing, and you like there's no reason that there should be a tip there. But there is."
Yeah. Or tipping at self checkout.
Yeah.
That's not even worth
uh,
talking about because it's so stupid.
Yeah. I also haven't seen, like, I know it exists, but I personally haven't seen it or
Yeah.
been somewhere like that.
Specifically, what I think about when I hear tipping, and this is getting very sidetracked off already, so I'll say this and then we can lean back. I saw very recently in a post on Reddit where they were talking about they had eaten at a restaurant and they paid with a 20, and without asking, the server just took the leftover, as a tip. It wasn't asked, it was just like entitlement. Like, yeah, they
What the
paid with a
fuck?
20, I think cost like 15 something. So they just took the rest without asking. And
I mean,
that's
without
stealing.
asking, that's fuck. Yeah, that's literally
Yeah,
stealing.
that's stealing. And they even questioned them
That's
about it, and they
different.
said like, I don't remember exactly what it said actually, so I'm not gonna comment on that. But yeah, it was a big thread. There were a lot of comments on it, and it's just so stupid. And going back then to this entire issue of like, it's someone else's job, the entitlement,
Yep.
where instead of looking at the actual, you know, big picture, where for tipping, it's like, as you said, the what's it called? The employer doesn't pay livable wages. And when it comes to shopping carts, there is nothing like that. There's no like, there's nothing to blame, I guess. It's literally just, do you want to be nice or not?
Yeah. It there's no incentive. There's no nothing. There's no like I said, it's purely a test of character is the way that I look at it, and I always have. I'll be honest. I got it from like I think it was like a green text post from 4chan posted on Twitter or something, but it was literally just like explaining it verbatim of it's a test for humans. If we can
Yeah,
self-govern ourselves, which we fucking can't, at least here in America, because God, if everything was in a similar vein to putting the cart back versus not, nothing would get fucking done.
yeah,
Yeah, there's no reward and there's no consequence. And
yeah.
that's the biggest
I
thing
think
there.
I think the bigger one is there's no consequences because again, comparing it with
Yeah.
tipping, the consequences of tipping is you're a bad person. Whereas with returning a cart, nobody considers you necessarily a bad person for not returning a cart. It's just gonna be like just ignoring them.
That's the thing. Like with a cart, you are more or less alone in a parking lot. You know, there's other people around or whatever, but most of the time, that
You don't
person that needs
really
to pick up that
look at
cart
them
isn't
and
going to be there. Yeah. Whereas with
yeah,
tipping, you're often looking right at the person across from the
confrontation.
counter from you, and actively hitting no tip, and you have to then continue to interact with that person. Whereas putting a cart away is more or less anonymous,
Yeah.
which is why people
S-
you give people anonymity, and they'll do anything. Freedom and
Look at the
anonymity.
internet.
Yep.
Yep. That is something I'm looking forward to because I know it will happen even if I do end up tipping some in some situations. I know it will happen. There will be a point, I know that for a fact,
I'm gonna
where
make
we
it.
get in a situation where I will not be tipping. And I'm actually, whether for malicious intent or not malicious, but like malice, like I'm kind of like looking forward to it just to see the reaction. I'm curious if what you see on the internet is actually true, I guess.
I'm gonna keep a
Because
notepad
on the
document
internet, you
of
yeah,
just every
you
time that you
usually see
tip
like the
versus not.
extremes.
Yeah. So look forward to seeing the amount of times that Tot tips versus the amount of times that she didn't. I think that'll be interesting math, interesting results there. Every single time is gonna be a tip. I feel like that's what's gonna happen. You're gonna have that confrontation of looking somebody in the eye, and you're not gonna be able to hit the no tip button. Your
No, I
social
have no problem
anxiety.
with that.
Oh, really? Well, that'll be interesting.
4 years ago, yes, that would I 100%. But these days, no, fuck him.
Oh, you've grown more confident. That's good.
That's probably my
Proud of you.
biggest change overall as a streamer is realizing and understand this correctly when I say it because it's gonna sound shitty, but it's meant in a positive sense where people's opinions literally doesn't matter. And in this case, I'm going to America. I'm not gonna be there a lot, okay? Most of the people that I will see, especially in convenience stores, stuff like that, I will see them most likely once in my life.
Yep.
So why the fuck would it matter what their opinion about me is? If I don't tip
I
them and they think I'm an asshole, go the right ahead. Who cares? And
I
yeah, you go first, then
yeah.
I'll go off track.
I had that exact experience when I was like 17, I think. I visited my sister in Maryland. I lived in Florida at the time. I flew up to Maryland, and I realized I was going to be there for about a week or so. And I was in like a Whole Foods or something, or like a Food Lion, and I was like, none of these people I'm ever going to see again. I can do whatever the fuck I want, say whatever I want, act however I want. And to them, I might just be a quick story that they tell to their wife or whatever at home of like this weird kid, and then that's it. Like there is
Why
no
would you throw
consequences
that at a
for,
cat on the
again,
internet?
no anonymity
Like
for like
this.
anything that I say or do to an extent. And that I think was like a changing point in my life where I was like, yeah,
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. I'm in a place where these people don't know me. Fuck them. I'll act like a fool in the supermarket. I'll start dancing. To the
yeah.
Katy Perry song playing. What are they gonna do?
Yep.
Anyway,
No,
you were gonna say
100% agree.
something?
Yeah, two things. First off, when it comes to your local places, that's different because those are people you will see on the regular. So yeah, in those cases, I can definitely or make there's an argument for getting it continuous, like positive service, like building a partnership without building up a relationship. The other thing that I was gonna get at is I feel like this is something that people need to be more aware about, and just like this is something a lot of people on the internet could learn from, because Twitter is probably the best example for this argument that I'm about to make. But the whole you're expected to care about everything. You're expected to be emotional and everything. You can't be an asshole because it's expected. I feel like this is kind of, it applies here, and you really don't have to. It's not about, when I say being an asshole, I'm not talking about being an actual asshole. I'm talking about, like, not caring about a topic doesn't necessarily make you an asshole.
Oh, the people online that are like justice fighters, that are like, you not giving an opinion or you not giving your thoughts on a topic is part of the problem. Is like is actively saying that you don't like it, or that you're on the negative side of it. And it's like, no, I just don't want to deal with it. It's not everything needs to be a topic. Not everything needs to be like a whole argument.
Yeah. And to even push that one step further, forcing someone to. I actually saw a perfect example of this from some kind of football game. I think
Oh,
from
American?
I think it was like, no, soccer.
Oh. Ugh.
The like world soccer, like big tournament, whatever. I saw a clip from there where there was a fan who was trying to talk and comment on the, like, on the football or soccer, on the teams and how that went. Like there was people in the background trying to bring up the whole Palestine stuff, but he really, like, he made it very clear that he didn't want to make a stand on it. He didn't want to comment on it. He was there for the football and he just wanted to have fun. He made it very clear multiple times, both vocally but also very clearly in body language. And I don't remember exactly how long this clip was, but it was multiple, like over 10 seconds in total at least. And at the end, he just has enough because they keep pestering him, they keep pushing him, so he gets enough. So he speaks up and goes against them because he gets annoyed. That is a prime example. It's a real life visual example in real time of someone being radicalized. That is how it happens for a lot of people. Not everyone, but a lot of people. That is how it happens. When you force someone into that corner, they will bite. If they don't like what you're forcing, they will bite back. That's not how you build a cause. You're making it worse.
Yes. If you are constantly pushing this worldview, this idea on somebody, and they're not receptive to it, they're much more easier and much more lenient to go to the opposite side, because
Yes.
it's just like, I'm sick and tired of hearing this point of view. I don't want to hear it anymore. Fuck it, I'm just going to go to the other side because it's
and
it's just not that view.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I think that's very, like, how a lot of it happens in politics, especially with how, like, prevalent the two-party system is in America. But I'm not gonna get too into that. Getting back on track. Yeah. But very sidetracked there. But it does. I do think it all correlates.
I love the idea of like looking up over there and seeing the the top current topic, the cards, putting them in versus not, and you're just here like, and I think that's the radicalization of like the two-party system in America. It's like, damn, how do we get here?
Yeah,
I mean, you think
chat.
about it.
How did
You
we
think
get here?
Chat, is this real VR?
Is this real?
It's just a great juxtaposition.
Yeah. From shopping
Um,
carts to radicalization. Yeah. This is the cat girl effect.
Is there a cat? You think there's a cat girl effect? Like, what would you consider that? Because I think about like this, the Streisand effect is a thing. Of the more that you try to hide something, the more people like it'll be out there. What would you say is the
Yeah.
cat girl effect?
Good question. I honestly don't know. I don't think they're necessarily. See the topic change.
How did we get here? You ever wonder why we're here?
Honestly, I don't know. I feel like there might be something, but I wouldn't put that specifically on cat girl. Like it would probably be like a hybrid effect. I don't know. I feel like to be able to point out an effect, that has to be something that happens, and unless we can point out that something happens, there is no.
I think it's very similar to now I don't know if this is like a real study or not, but apparently there's like some kind of parasite or something in cats or like cats' brains. Something it's some fucking weird thing of that makes people like cats. Is there some kind of parasite that goes from the cat into the people and it gets in your brain and then it's like I love cats. And I think it's very similar to why people like cat girls on the internet. Not like an actual parasite, but like some sort of thing. Toxoplasmosis? That's a word. But yeah, that's why the internet likes cat girls. Because whenever you think of like an anime girl, like the first thing people usually go to is they go to cat girl. It's the most common anime
Yeah,
girl trope.
it's a trope.
It's
Yeah,
cat. It's you don't immediately go to dog girl or wolf girl or whatever. And if you talk about bunny girl, it's the outfit, not the actual cat. I wonder what
yeah.
caused. You know, I don't know. Toxoplasmosis
Honestly,
is
that's
not
a
that.
really, really good question. I
Sure,
know
if
there's a
you
lot of people that also bring up like the shape of the shape of the like typical anime head is very
cattish.
influenced by the shape of a cat. Yeah,
Yeah.
have very feline like aspects to it.
Granted, it's that's just the thing of like we overlaid these two things and drew lines that are
Yeah,
similar, so they must be influenced. It must be the same, and you could do that with like a
yeah. I don't
million
I don't think
things.
there's any like actual proof that that's
Yeah.
where it derived from. It's more like happy accident. Maybe it
No,
has
no,
been
and
like more in.
I know why. I'm
I
fucking
don't know.
stupid. No, I literally
I don't
watched
know.
a video. Like some of the earliest animation, like anime stuff, with Astro Boy. And Astro Boy was drawn literally like by somebody who was influenced by Donald Duck. Legitimately, the godfather of anime and the whole reason for like your anime waifus can be traced back to Donald Duck. That's like a real thing. So every
What?
time that you spank it to, your hentai girl with big buzongas and all that, take a minute and think about Donald Duck. Or it might have been what's the Scrooge one? I don't know. But yeah, like legitimately. There is actual evidence for it. I don't remember where I saw it, but I know for a fact that like the person that made Astro Boy was a big fan of early Disney stuff with the big eyes. Scrooge, yeah. I don't know if it was Scrooge or not, but it was
Okay.
definitely like that era. But yeah,
Uh,
that's like a real thing.
yeah.
Anyway, cat girl effect. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think
How
there
did
is like a full-on cat girl effect per se.
you could probably
I
just
think it's
Google
just
it.
like,
Somebody's probably done like a paper on it, knowing the internet of like what is the cat girl effect. Dopamine and
uh,
serotonin. Who's serotonin? I know her sister Mella.
yeah, I gonna do a quick Google search. I can't really find anything specific.
That's
Probably have to
surprising.
look into it properly. There's
Yeah.
a bunch of Reddit threads, but I don't wanna start scrolling down
Oh,
those. Um,
you don't want to be a Reddit React Andy on the podcast?
no, no. I do think, at least my assumption would be that everyone, generally speaking, likes cats, and it's very easy to take ears and tail and adding them on the human body. Like, it's a very, very simple, easy like addition. It doesn't necessarily change anything, like proportion
Why
wise and
only
stuff like
the
that.
ears
So
and
it's
tails
very
though?
easy to do. Again, I
Just
think that would have to do with
whiskers,
the
you
fact that
know?
you don't change anything. You're just adding.
Yeah,
Because
I don't know.
anything else from the cat, and you would have to change the human from being a human.
Whiskers.
Well, to be fair, that I would argue that's like the third most common thing.
Yeah.
But I will
Mm-hmm.
say, most of the time when I see whiskers, that it starts like, that's when you really start treading into the like furry territory. Like you get closer to that.
But why is that?
But
That's
yes,
the
yes, no,
question.
I don't know.
Chromie has
Just
whiskers.
whiskers does
So are
not
you a furry?
make. No, I was literally about to say, just whiskers
Oh,
does not. It's just
damn.
tendencies tends to be that if you add whiskers, it's far more likely that you have other features as well, like fur patches or paws on the like, or beans on the hands or stuff like that. Yeah. Usually, whiskers is not where it ends. Usually, there's obviously exceptions.
Do you have paws on the bottom of your shoes, or is those not on this version on the 4.0?
No, if you
Oh,
mean the
you have
big paws,
beans.
no.
You
I
have
have,
beans. Right
yeah,
at
on
the
the
top there.
sole.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the sole, but that's more of a like artistic design choice rather than a actual character feature.
Somebody's
Sleep
car
well,
is
Sakura.
going out. Good night,
Gateway drug.
Sakura.
Whiskers is a gateway drug to becoming a furry. Got it.
That's interesting. But yeah, I'm surprised there's not more research. It feels like it's such an easy.
There
It's like
probably
such an
is.
like a. I could see that as like a YouTube video, like one of those like hour-long videos of the cat girl effect, and it's got like anime cat girls on a thumbnail. It's got like 1 million views.
That'd be interesting.
I can
Yeah,
see it.
that'd be really interesting, actually.
Yeah, I got
Uh,
ideas. I'm telling you, I'm the idea guy. I don't make them, but ideas.
Nekopara. Uh, let's
Play,
get catting. Let's go. Huh?
you gonna don't? Did you ever finish Nekopar?
No, we only played one episode. We
Um,
didn't even start at the start, so like we were just jumping right into it
oh,
because it was at the time done as a one-off thing.
well, good luck when you go to episode 2 or whatever. I don't know if you'll ever play it again, but Did you even talk at the time, or was that before you could talk?
No, that was before.
Oh, oh. Well, now it's different. Now you can
Uh,
actually be a voice.
yeah, yep. That's kind of why it was brought up before because um had the it would be different. Coming back to it, last time we had Lay doing the main character voices, and then we had Rip, Raspy, and Uzi doing the character voices.
Yeah.
And yeah,
You're gonna put
I
Lay
was
out
in
of a
the
job
shark
then.
outfit, laughing my ass off. it, yeah, I
That
was
was
on my birthday.
holy shit. Your birthday last year.
Yep.
Damn. Time flies.
It really does. Too fast, honestly.
Yeah. We're like 2 weeks away from TwitchCon. Literally
Yeah.
today is TwitchCon in 2 weeks. Well, actually, no, I think it would have passed. I think it'd be over by now. But actually, no. It would be
Uh-huh.
happening right now.
It's the
San
first.
Diego is.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
14
I
days
mean the
from now.
day. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't even remember what day I'm leaving.
Or two.
Chris
Yeah,
knows
2
that.
weeks.
I have everything booked and stuff, so it should be fine. Speaking of, I need to write something down that I gotta do before going to bed today. Very, very important.
Taught.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. She's busy writing down her secret wishes.
No, I gotta make
She.
a insurance call because I have limited number of days
Oh.
to do it.
Oh, yeah, that's probably important. I need to talk to my
Yeah,
bank like a bit
I
before and be
couldn't
like,
do it
"Hey,
until today. That's why.
yeah,
But yeah, sorry.
I gotta tell my bank like, hey, I'm probably gonna make transactions from the other side of the country. Please don't like close my card because of suspicious transactions. I need my money and I don't want to be trapped in San Diego. That'd be a scary place.
Yeah.
But I think,
Also,
you know,
no,
what?
isn't I leave on the 17th. So
Probably,
it's
yeah.
yeah, that's only in 2
It
weeks.
might have been 3 weeks then. I might be
Yeah,
thinking of
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's same
In
difference.
3
But
weeks,
still,
it will be in the middle of.
that's way too soon.
I'm excited for it.
I honestly, the only thing I'm scared about is the traveling, and not even like being on a plane. It's more of delays and airports.
Yeah,
Like being on a
I
plane, I'm
remember you
fine.
mentioned that.
I don't like, but
Yeah, with
like
like
if
being foreign and whatnot, like bad weather.
yeah, bad like with Florida, first of all, there could be a hurricane. September's peak of hurricane season. Something could come up, and then I won't be able to fly out for a bit. Uh, or delays in general. If I miss my flight to, the first destination, it might be like uh, Texas or something, and I don't make it to the second flight, then I'm going to be late getting to San Diego. Like if this first flight is delayed, then I've got limited time to get to my second flight. So all of that is a scary thing as well. You're lucky in that you just have the one quick flight to somewhere else, and then you go to America just straight from
Yeah,
Europe, no layover. So that's good. Uh, you're gonna. It'll also. I know you're afraid of flying. It'll give you that uh like feeling of flying very briefly, so you can get used to it, so that you can then take like a 13-hour flight.
yeah, be able to
So
sleep
that'll be
and whatnot.
fun. Yeah, it's fucking direct flights to San Diego are apparently impossible. I could have gotten to like LAX, but I feel bad about having to have somebody like Hal or something pick me up to take me to another place because I'm sure he's got a lot of stuff he's got to do, and or not even have like other people that live in the LA area, San Diego.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do have a license. I'm going to be the main driver of the trip because this one is Swedish, and we know her track record with a car. Chris doesn't have a license. Radiant just doesn't want to, and I don't know if I trust Lay behind the wheel either, as well as Australia. I don't know. Is there a reason why Lay hasn't been brought up as a driver?
He drives on the opposite side of the road.
Oh
Literally.
yeah, there's that. Okay, yeah. He drives on the you drive on the wrong side of the road too.
No. I drive on
No,
the
you
right
don't?
side.
Oh. Well, I
Yeah,
just don't
Sweden
trust
is
you behind the
normal.
wheel. Okay. Then yeah. Chris, what do you mean question mark? You fuck any place other than America, I assume drives on the wrong side of the road. That's it. That's just the beginning and the end of it. Yeah. And I've asked this many times before. You know what I've also asked many times before? Hey Chris, how old am I? Because I forget. I found out yesterday I turned 26, not 25. I'm closer to 30
Yeah,
than I thought, and that makes me sad.
I turned 27. I'm not looking forward to
Wizard,
next year because next year is gonna be the big change where, okay,
you're
I'm
a nerd.
almost 30. I'm basically dead.
Yeah, I can't wait to be a wizard. That's gonna be fun. Once I hit the big 3-0.
I'm offending so many people.
Yeah, Feast is probably crying.
He just turned 30 today. Yo, happy birthday, Blind Third Eye.
Yo, you're dead. Do you have your coffin picked out yet? Happy birthday.
No,
30 plus. You can see people coping. 30 plus isn't
yeah,
that bad. Okay, Shan.
it really is like, it really isn't that bad, okay? I know that, but it's like,
It's the meme.
reality is setting in, kind of. That's what it
Yeah.
is.
You have
You're
more
growing up,
incentive to
and
like have your life together. Or like more
yeah,
pressure.
kind of. More pressure, I would say. Like, there's more expectations of you to have your life together.
Yeah.
Even though what I've learned is that even though as a kid you thought that adults were like all there, all together, understood everything, and had everything together.
No.
No, no.
I can't imagine like a kid looking at me and being like, he has his life together. And I'm like, I'm struggling to live. What do you mean? I gotta feed
Yeah,
myself. But yeah, that's the thing. Kitten brought up, I think. The internet loves hags nowadays. They've been really hag heavy. So, it's fine if you're old. They love old women, MILFs and that.
thanks.
Any fire can be relit. Just saying. With enough work. That's what the internet's into. The speaking of culture.
They love older women. God damn it, Hal.
Yeah. Dude, MILFs? Nice. That's the dichotomy, is that people are like, oh, going back to the thing from that didn't happen last week. Like femboys, the exact opposite of the spectrum of like a femboy is like a MILF. And I'm like, damn, that's really
Yeah,
nice. I like that. You can like both
that
sides of
is
the thing.
very like, yeah, that is definitely like on the like opposite. Yeah, like mm, that is a very interesting topic, actually.
What? What aspect of this topic is good, Todd? Tell me.
It's just interesting. How we, I guess, not associate, but like the whole thing with like mills. Like,
Yeah,
what do people find so attractive about it? Like,
Tot.
not just
A lot of
not
us were
just
unloved
mills,
as
but
a
like,
child, and we've been through so much. We've gone through so much in our life. Tot,
so
I
it's
have
mother
lived
issues.
through
It's mom
no,
issues.
Tot, no. I have lived
Mom issues.
through I have lived through multiple once in a lifetime catastrophes, uh crises, you name it. I just want to be held and told that everything is going to be all right. And if that woman happens to have huge badonkers and a very caring attitude, so be it. Draw me Ben, Lay's already drawn my mother. What do you mean?
Who hurt you?
What? What did you
He
say?
just explained it. What do you mean? No, I was reading comment. Who hurt you? Who hurt you, bro?
Yeah,
But you just explained it.
life. Multiple. Once in a do you know how many times we've lived through like an economic recession? Those are supposed to happen like once a generation. It was
Greed.
the Great Depression was just like it was like, oh my God, that happened. Now that's like, oh, another economic depression. Ah, must be Thursday.
And we're probably gonna experience even more.
Yep. And that's why people want that comfort, that level of support, that emotional caring. As
Yeah.
especially as men, it's becoming more less of a thing nowadays, but as a guy, you're often told like, don't, you need to be the man of the house. You need to, be, strong and independent, and showing emotions is weak. Being able to cry openly is not an easy thing, but having that figure to hold you and protect you and be like, "Hey, let it all out." But also being a hot older woman with big badongers is nice.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I listen, it's just something that I like,
Be a man.
To
I'll be
be a
emotionally dead
man.
my whole life and never be truly happy with myself. I get right on that. Bullshit choosing his words carefully.
I've thought about this quite often. That's why I'm not choosing them carefully. I'm reaching back into my mind and pulling them back out.
Yeah, I
I
do
think that
think
might
this is like I think this is a topic that has become a bit more like like in real life it's very very normal, this issue, like it's very very real, but on the internet or real life it's not really discussed in the same way, but on the internet I have definitely seen more of that topic being discussed, but it is also one of those topics that often get shut down, ironically enough, usually by the extreme end of the um woke, quote unquote, audience, I guess.
Hmm. Yeah. Uh yeah, it I don't know. My brain is like I can take this conversation and like multiple different directions, and I just don't know which way to go.
Yeah.
I think this is a reason of why this is gonna. Oh, this is not gonna help me or my case at all
Hi, Philip.
with previous things that I've said, but I don't know how else to phrase it.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to say it,
I
but
want to hear it now.
like with like the caring and the affection and the motherly thing, MILF. I think that's partly why it it's not uncommon, or it's more common, incest porn. Is a lot more common lately.
I see.
Yeah.
I think there's multiple
I
sides
knew
to it.
the fucking chat. Am I wrong? Tell me, am
Yep.
I wrong? Tell me if you don't go to
No, I think you're
you go to
correct.
numerous pornography sites. Some of the top categories are like stepmom and stepsis and stuff. Literally, it's
Yep.
so prevalent and so common that there are literally memes of like, "Oh no, stepbro, help me, I'm stuck." Like that is a meme.
Yeah.
One of the biggest games, or one of the most controversial games, was semi recently, was Andy and Lele, the Coffin of Andy and Lele, which had topics about that as an optional route, but even then, it still sparked up, a big hurrah about it. Like, I'm not wrong
Yeah.
in this.
No, I think you're entirely correct. I think there is some level of correlation between them. And like I mentioned, like I don't remember if I mentioned it that much last podcast, but I have
What do you mean
talked
last
about it
podcast?
recently, at least, that um and I think I talked about it yesterday. Was it
What?
yesterday? Some other like coffee streams that I've
Oh.
done. We looked at like porn statistics and whatnot, and I
You
did bring
did.
up that, well, it wasn't in the statistics. Incest and like, yeah, stepmom, stepbro, stepsis, stepdad, like those specific words. All of those are like some of the most common tropes
Yes.
in porn. Like they are
Yes.
super common.
I mean, it's on topic still. Yeah. I'm not going back. I'm going further. Like a stepsis stuck in a dryer. I'm going further.
I do also think there is a correlation between it, because
I forgot what I was gonna say.
like it's especially in like the anime scene, or like I guess hentai, the whole stepmom thing, that is extremely common, like
What do you mean?
insanely common.
Do you wanna talk about like that? The little sister trope has been a thing for ages. Like that has been a thing for such a long time, and it like it. That's what I was gonna say. Okay. Um, I remember somebody. It might have been Owen bringing up at one point. Like the politicians, they secretly do the gay stuff, but they say that they don't like it because they like the feeling of it being wrong or whatever. Shit like that, right? Like that general idea.
Yeah.
When you think of like doing something wrong, doing so like in terms of a sexual act that is bad, there are lines that you do not cross, of like animals, children, stuff like that, which are very clearly like bad. There are people that will argue, or maybe not argue, but they can rationalize at the very least with stuff like saying, "Oh, step siblings." It's like, "Oh, it's not bad because they're step siblings, or it's two, consenting adults. is
Yeah.
they can make these jumps and they can rationalize it. So it's
Yeah.
still
It's one of those things that,
bad, but you can, stuff like
yeah,
that.
it's one of those things that are, it's technically not wrong, but it's close enough to where it is wrong still. But it's like,
It's at the very least morally frowned upon,
yeah,
which is why chat is so, hectic here. It's
yeah, it's
taboo.
taboo. Perfect wording, actually. More intense taboos come forward. Yes. And I think personally that is a very big issue on the internet right now. People throw around accusations and words like that very, very openly, and I think this is really getting to the deep topics now.
Mhm.
I don't think we should go too far into this because
Chat on the internet.
it feels very iffy, but I really don't think it's healthy for the internet with how much it's being thrown around. It normalizes it. Not US concerns, just it's very iffy.
Yeah. Again, but that
Yeah.
goes to the thing that I started with of like people. Yeah, I don't. It's just the thing, and
Yeah.
it's common. People don't like it, but it's there for a reason. There's an audience for it. As you go back to that first initial thing, there wouldn't be so much stuff if there wasn't an audience for it.
Yeah. I could actually see like the yeah, I guess that could be a good transition actually. I was gonna say I could actually see some correlation between this and the whole issue with like VRC on Twitch.
What is that?
Like
What do you mean
pushing
by
the
that?
boundaries of what's allowed.
Yeah.
Because yeah, it
Yeah.
is streaming, let's be real here, softcore porn on a public website. That is kind of taboo.
Yeah, it's the reason.
Yeah, websites are considered taboo. So you're the next closest thing.
Yeah, if people really wanted to just get their rocks off, there's plenty of sites for that. But they're choosing Twitch, which is it's not like something might happen. There might be like a little slip or something. You never know.
Yeah. It's not full on porn, but it's like it's very, very close to it. So there's this inherent like tabooness with it where like they shouldn't be doing this. We all know they shouldn't be doing this. It is kind of wrong. It's technically not against the rules, according to Twitch themselves. But yeah, I really think there is some correlation between that. Like that could be a big driver for why so many like are attracted to that, because it is like only because it's like almost more authentic. Like when you go to porn website, it's like, yeah, the porn actresses. Whereas if you go to Twitch, it's real people, quote unquote.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's too much information, but like,
Kind of social.
yeah, like porn sites are very boring, I guess, nowadays. Like I can't tell you the last time I've been to the hub, because it's like it's just so nothing. You don't
Yeah.
there's nothing there. Granted, I'm not, watching, XX big titty goth girl XX, jumping
Yeah.
around in VR chat, but
And that's like the on the same topic as well. Like you get normalized to like what you see. So in this case, when you see that kind of stuff in a VRChat category, it is over time just gonna keep getting worse because there's always gonna be someone who wants to be at the top. You know, someone will find the next move. It's the Twitch meta pushing the rules, pushing the boundaries, and stuff like that.
About the parasocialness of VR chat, I feel like there's a difference there. As opposed to like a normal okay, take like a normal streamer like Pokimane or whatever. Like there's people that are parasocial for that. But odds are you're never going to meet her. Nothing will ever happen. But with VR chat, that's not a zero possibility. Like if you're watching a
Yeah,
VR chat streamer, there's a non-zero chance that you could meet them and do other things,
yeah,
but there's at the very least that chance of meeting them in game, which is a big difference already to normal Twitch platform, normal streaming. Like
yeah.
well, not necessarily for you, but well, I mean, guess kind of like I didn't know
Getting the
who.
message, can I join you in
Oh
chat?
my god, like I don't. That's annoying. But yeah,
Um,
like there's people that I watched on stream that I have now met and friended. I watched Chromia before I ever was friends with her, or Soul, or Laxi, like these people.
yeah. I think there are different types of being parasocial as well. There is the parasocial of you want to be best friends with the streamer, but there's also the parasocial thing of more on this topic that we're discussing. You want to see the streamer in a sexual situation. That is still a
Hmm.
form of parasocial. It's just
Yeah.
a different type. And I think, personally, I think at least, a lot of the lewd stuff on VR chat on Twitch, I feel like that relies very heavily on that type. People who see someone that they can kind of connect with, it's kind of a normal person. It's not professional, it's a human, it's a real person. And you can see them in a sexual situation. So it's different.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's authentic, it's real, it's not scripted pornography. It's what?
Nothing.
What?
It's just
What?
stupid. No,
Go on.
I'm laughing at myself.
Ah,
I'm laughing at my stupid brain.
maybe the people want to laugh at your stupid brain too.
No, I'm not gonna.
Damn.
It's a very stupid thing, and I'm not gonna. I don't want to cause drama. Okay.
It's a podcast. What do you mean it's all about causing drama? It's what all the best podcasts do. Have you seen on Impulsive? I mean, I haven't, but you know,
Empty your brain. No, I'm not gonna empty my brain. No, I'm not gonna say it. Okay. I think if you really read into it, you can probably figure out exactly what I was laughing at. Okay. It doesn't. It's not gonna take much. Okay. I'm not gonna say it.
anyway. Yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, there's also people online, like people. Twitter doesn't help. Where the amount of times that I'll
Twitter never
be
helps.
scrolling on Twitter and I'll see like VR chat streamer and they're in little to no clothing and they're like, "Oh man, I really want like a big cool person to take me out back and do stuff." It's like it's literally just farming engagement for that for the horny,
Yeah.
parasocial people.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
There's just
Scripted.
script. What do you mean scripted? What?
I don't know.
Oh no, Hal, you're fine. Don't worry. Um, No, I'm talking about the people. Like I've seen like actual people being like, man, I wish one of my viewers would come fuck me or whatever, and it's like, what
Okay,
the fuck?
now that's okay. I huh?
What? I wasn't gonna go
Yeah,
anywhere. I
no,
was just saying.
I thought you said what the fuck to me. Sorry.
What you did
No,
explain.
that is something I definitely like think is like that is parasocial from the other side. That is a streamer preying on parasocial people, and that is like I have zero respect for those types of streamers because that is extremely unhealthy, and you're literally preying on vulnerable people who shouldn't be like. Yeah, it's preying on people who.
What's
Oh
the
yeah,
word?
I pretty much said it like it is. It preying on vulnerable people,
Vulnerable.
and
Yeah,
fuck
that's the word.
that.
So what if I make an
I do not
exclusive
support because
song
yeah,
so I can
exactly like you said. I've seen it as well. Okay, there's a lot of them, and sadly, a lot of YouTubers as well that does this because I think it's just part of the like with how much parasocial behavior there is like in the VTuber industry. I think it's very easy to do, and VRChat to an extent is like it's part of the same audience, so it's very easy to prey on them.
Yeah, it is a vulnerable and like to go back to the culture, very vulnerable, horny people who are susceptible to seeing this, and they're like, well, that could be me. I could I could satisfy the desires of my streamer. I could give them
Yeah,
my penis and they would enjoy it. That could be me. But it's like it's just farming that engagement. It's not
it should have been
it's
me.
not a good It should have been me. I'm just gonna
Literally, it
commission
is.
art of us fucking, and then you get into that whole thing. Yeah,
This is just
literally
another
what?
form. It sadly is the natural order of things. Yeah, it's exploitation of people's weaknesses, 100%. And I will even go one step further and say that a lot of the people who I've seen become that, like I'm talking like between like in the VX chat sphere now, because those are the people I've been following for a longer time. A lot of those I feel like definitely falls into this, where it's been like a gradual change. And I think a part of it could be that, as a content creator, you do stuff, you experiment, you test different things, you see what works. And when you see something that works, you go for that. You push that more. And when you do it gradually, it might not be very easy to see what's happening or what you're doing. Like, I'm not trying to be on a moral high ground here. I'm not trying to say I want this perfectly clear. I'm not trying to pretend that I'm better. I'm not. No, but like every content creator has their own issues. Every content creator has their own faults. Nobody's perfect. I'm just explaining my thought process on this, basically. I do think it has to do with like because it's a gradual change, you don't really, or potentially you don't really realize what's happening. At least that's what I would like to believe. I don't want to believe that people are that
What, Todd?
exploitative.
We did talk earlier about people that won't take 30 seconds to put their card away.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
people are assholes.
There's a
They'll
thin
do
line
whatever they
between going
can
for
to get
trends
ahead.
and exploiting. Yeah. But yeah, no, I want it to be crystal fucking clear. I'm not trying to be a moral white knight. I'm not better. Okay. In fact, a topic that or when I was discussing, I don't remember if it was on stream or if it was in the Discord, but when I was discussing the whole lewdness and in the past and whatnot, I actually feel partially responsible because when I was still like, when I was growing a lot, I was lewder than the average VR chat streamer or content creator on Twitch. I got a lot of flack for it, but that's part of where I played. That's like my
That's
what would you
crazy.
call it? Yeah, um,
Your role?
that's my brick against. I guess like in the wall. Like I enabled it at the time. I am speaking up now that being super super lewd is bad, quote unquote. But that is what I did. I was lewd, maybe not as lewd as now, but I was lewd, and there's inherently not much difference. I can justify it by saying that, but I tried to go for comedic timing, or I did this, or I did that, or it wasn't as bad. It wasn't the same. I was still being lewd. I did this myself as well, so I am technically part of the problem.
I mean, the
I'm not
fact,
really
like,
excused for this either.
I mean, I'll say that again. You were still being lewd. When I look back at some of the stuff that you were doing, which was just like, oh, you would bend over and shake your ass, or shove a popsicle up your butt or something, and then I look at what is lewd nowadays, and I'm like, there is a big difference. Like the just everything from the visual aspect to the things that are being done. Like, I don't know if you were given I don't think you were given lap dances, stuff like
No,
that. Yeah.
no. I
So, like, there's
I
a
think I
big
might
difference.
have done like one or two moves once or twice as a joke, but it wasn't like a full on stream. It wasn't the theme of my content.
Yeah, it wasn't what you were doing
But as
every
jokes,
time.
it has probably
It was, like,
happened. Yeah.
once or twice.
Yesterday's hardcore became today's soft lewd. Yeah. And on what you're saying as well, to be on that topic as well. Giving like well, there's no way to beat around the bush. Giving the camera, or in more accurately, giving the viewer lap dances, that is at the bottom line parasocial. Like that's what that's the target audience. Because again, you're taking the streamer, you're taking this real person, someone that people connect to. The inherent interest in streamers is the fact that they are just normal people. They are just like me. They're just like you. It's one of us. It's a normal human. So it feels more real. And because of this, when you do this, and when you give the viewer a lap dance, quite literally, through your camera, it's not just a porn actress. It's not a strip club where where there are people working. No, it's a real person doing it. I'm speaking from the mindset of a viewer here. Like, that's why I think it preys on parasocial people. Is it really a problem though? Just a different kind of just a different kind of content, and the more people who start watching Twitch, the more of it there will be. Yes. And that directly goes against everything that I've been saying, in the sense of, at the end of the day, the viewers decide what content is king, quite literally.
Do you think you could make a system that when people donate money or bits, it throws money out like if you're at a strip club? Because I think that
Yes.
would be valuable for those kinds of streamers, where their chat can literally throw like dollar bills at them. I think that'd be funny.
I don't think they would want to add that, because that is
Oh, it's too on the
essentially
nose. I'm
admitting.
sorry.
Yes, quite literally. No, that is what it
Yeah.
is. I don't think most other people who do this, they would want to admit what they're doing. I don't think most of them would.
Yeah, they're lying to themselves. People love lying to
Yeah.
themselves. Kitten said.
Yeah, so I don't think those people would want a system like that, because it's too direct. That is more something that people would like want for the meme, or like a bit or a
Yeah.
joke.
Yeah, that's what we would do for like a joke on that type of stream.
Yeah.
Get Raspy and this fucking
And
ferret
to go one step further as well.
Yeah.
Because the Twitch website is 13 plus, for that reason, I definitely don't think that extreme type of content definitely don't have a place. I don't think, and my content has always been considered 18 plus. But that content, like, again, it's straight up softcore porn. I don't think that should be on a place that is advertised to children.
But it already is. It already is just the streams. Yeah, they put a blur filter on it, but you can still see them.
Yeah.
It means nothing. It's like going to a porn site, being like, you must be, you can join if you're 13 or plus, but you can't watch any videos until you're 18. We trust you to do that, though. We're not going to actually stop you, though. We believe that
Yeah,
you'll do the
there's no
right
way
choice.
there's no way
Believe
to
you put your
really
card back.
stop it. Like, you either allow it or you don't allow it. Well, you make a separate website for it, yes, but the
Why
reason
doesn't- They don't kill Twitch.
this is
I was
like
why don't they make a separate website?
on the same, like, going down the rabbit hole further, a lot of it, maybe not so much with VRChat, I would argue that it's relevant or prevalent rather in the VRChat like lewd streamer community, but it's way more prevalent in the, like, well, I'll call them titty stream because that's what people know. People know what I refer to when I say that. Most of them, they stream to they stream to attract people to their OnlyFans. That's the goal. That is why
Yeah.
they do it. That's why they're pushing the rules. They want attention to pull people in to their OnlyFans or Fancy or whatever else. Just force an ID check? No. The last thing I would ever want is for private businesses or companies to demand ID check. I think that is way worse.
Yeah.
It is impossible to prevent the kids from accessing that content. Again, porn sites are literally like 3 clicks away for anyone, 18 or not. That's the reality.
Yeah, like I remember,
And
you can't say that you weren't a kid doing the same thing.
Yeah, I would argue that I don't think it's right to hold Twitch to a higher standard than porn sites when we know for a fact that porn sites have way bigger issues. It's just not talked about as much. For gambling sites, there is an ID check. Yeah.
When you're playing, well, I guess you're playing with actual money here. But I think gambling sites is more of a stigma because gambling is a much bigger thing in real life, of like an actual thing with rules and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's a more realized industry.
Yeah,
It's not
and it's an
taboo
industry.
in the same sense. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not taboo in the same sense, so there's more regulation. Surprise
porn.
to probably some people, a lot of countries around the world actually don't allow porn, just flat out. So
Yes, yeah.
if you can look at porn from your country without a VPN, you are unironically privileged. Congratulations.
Yeah, I mean, and that's partly why places like Twitch is because people that can't
Yeah.
watch, porn sites, they can go to Twitch because it's not technically porn, and then see anime girl in bikini. It's like, well, I can watch this. This is enough.
Yep. Hi, Minty.
Hello, Minty. We've been talking about
And
a lot
again,
of different stuff.
on the same, yeah, on the same like notion as well. I don't think it's right to hold like lewd streamer in the VRChat category. Like I made the argument like, oh yeah, kids can access it. But at the same time, I don't think they should be held to the standard that we don't even hold like a porn site to. Like that, it's not on them. It's not on the creator to make sure that I maybe I'll get flack for it, but I really don't think it's on the creator necessarily. Like there are certain steps like that you shouldn't cross, obviously. But if you enable the 18 plus on your channel, in my opinion, you had at least done, I guess, legally speaking, maybe that's not the right word, but like, kind of, you've done your part. It should be Twitch who should prevent the next, like, from that point forward, it's on Twitch's side. It's not on the creator.
You've taken the appropriate steps. You've done the bare minimum on your part to prevent this from happening. Yeah, the rest is on Twitch. The rest is on the parents as well to like watch and
That as
not
well,
necessarily
absolutely.
fucking be 24/7 hawk, but know at the
They
very
should have
least the
some
sites
idea of
and
what's
stuff.
happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that is a much, much, much bigger issue altogether, like just in general these days.
Yeah. I think that's why kids these days aren't having, like, young people these days aren't having as many kids because we were raised so poorly and so inattentively, again going back to the MILF thing, that like we know what it's like where like I wouldn't want to put a child through what I went through what I know this world is going to do. That's why we're just not as high on having kids.
I think there's multiple reasons for that. I don't think I personally at least could like
Oh yeah, there's not just
specify.
one reason. But
I think yeah, there's definitely many reasons for our generation to like just looking at statistics in most places around the world, the the number of kids being born is actually going down, or actually at least not increasing by as much. So less people are choosing to not have kids.
yes, I think for
But
good
there's
reasons.
plenty of different reasons being part of the outcome.
Who's supposed to be talking
There's
about
a reason
Twitter?
Twitch. Oh yeah, well,
I don't know what
I
the
don't even
Twitter
remember what
topic
the original
was.
topic was for it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know. I think he just wanted to get off the incest stuff, so he was like, "Let's talk about Twitter."
I think it had to do with. I'm pretty sure it had something to do with Elon and the ongoing like Brazil stuff, but I don't really
Dude,
feel like talking about that because I think it's all stupid.
yeah, I
If you
mean,
want to say Twitter is bad,
anything.
there's plenty of reasons to say why it's bad.
Yeah,
Don't think it really needs a discussion.
yeah. It beating a dead horse at this point. I do find it
Yeah.
funny that like Brazilian Miku was a big thing for like the past week, and then now Twitter shutting down in Brazil. It's like, damn. Well,
Yeah.
they went out with a hurrah, I guess. Poor people that we know that are in Brazil. Shiro.
Yeah, actually. Perfect.
That's it.
Speaking of Brazil Miku, that meme
Oh.
blew up overnight. And that's a
Yeah.
perfect transition to, I would say, the last topic for today, probably.
Okay.
Memes powering in communities. It kind of like touched upon it at the end of the last episode, but
Oh.
that is
I have
something
vague
that is
memory.
like, I
What
think,
do you mean last episode?
very, very unrealized. Like,
Yeah.
how much power memes can have and how much it can affect a content creator's success.
I'll say from well, not personal experiences and like memes about me, but like somebody that I watch, Wubby, he'll just like Pay Money Wubby. He'll just say something, and then his chat will take it and fucking run with it, and then it'll become like a meme for the next week and a half, and it's just a single phrase, just something said. And then if it's good and the community likes it, they will run with it, they'll change it, they'll make it unique and funny and do stuff with it. Having those memes and stuff in your community, people that will take just a dumb thing that you say or do and, stretch it for all that it's worth
Yeah.
is good. Sometimes they stretch it too long or too much, but it's having that community that knows when a meme is at its end.
Yeah.
Because then you get shit like,
Um.
haha, small hands, so funny.
Yeah. What did you say his name was? I know who you're
Pay money
talking about.
Wubby.
I didn't. Pay
Yeah,
Money Wubby. Pay Money
yeah.
Wubby.
Be our chat
Um.
person.
Yeah. Aura or Orator.
Orator,
Baldwin.
yeah.
And
Bald?
Germa. I would argue
Yeah.
those three are prime examples of communities that makes the streamer.
Yes.
They are
100%.
equally part of the channel or in the content that happens and gets made as the content creator themselves. The content creator might be enabling it for it to happen, but if chat wasn't there, the content wouldn't be the same.
Yeah, it'd be a completely different stream if chat was not there. They are as much a part of the, stream as, yeah. I just repeated what you said. But yeah. It's great. And there's such, when you have the minds of these people, like in chat, when you and the dedication for these people to make these memes and have the time and energy and effort and want, like I've seen people make full-on videos and shit, full-on animations and stuff, and it's crazy. And that is what makes that person, or what helps elevate them at the very least.
It helps elevate them for sure. And there's also a lot of cases where if a meme like builds character, I guess you could say. One very early example would be two very early example. Gura's Aw, when she debuted, blew up like wildfire. Yeah. You have Shiloh's Wump Wump. Another good example of like a catchphrase type of meme that becomes very recognizable. People associate it with like personalities. Another more recent example, I'm pretty sure I brought it up last time as well. Doki Bird's like surprise expression blew up overnight.
Yeah.
It was something she could always do. The creator of her Life to Do came out and showed that it was purely based on her actual facial expressions in real life. That's what made it. It's just one of the possibilities. So it was like, it's very cool. And I think it's a very, very interesting topic. I would love to like really get into the nitty gritty about like memes, what makes memes, the science behind it. But there is literally like no studies. There's no information. It's like completely uncharted territory. And, to look at it, the next logical step of it, that's like, how do corporations adopt memes and how like, because this is something that's very, very wide known in like in the business world, so to speak. A company making something and it becoming a meme, that is like the best possible outcome in terms of advertising. Like that is the dream. That is what companies want to do. That is why you've seen so many and more by each year, more and more companies making like stupid Twitter accounts where they are like, hey fellow kids, look at me, I'm also quirky, goofy, stupid. Like Wendy's, when they were roasting everyone, and every other company started doing it.
KFC Spanish.
Or GX Aura, like that account, also a good example that a lot of other companies are trying to replicate. Yeah. They really capitalized on it. Trying to force a
Yeah.
meme is a dangerous path to take. Yes, and that's where you get
Well,
responses like "shut up, company" or whatever that like crab
silence
meme
brand.
was. Yeah,
Yeah.
that.
Well, I saw a similar comment of like people like normal people, like normal Twitter users or whatever. Here's a meme of like a pineapple on my head. Oh, that's so funny. Everybody's got a pineapple on their head now. And then suddenly this big corporation comes in and they're like, "Look, we have a pineapple on our head. Look, it's so funny." And then it's just all corporations and there's no actual people there.
Yeah,
It's like they can very easily take over a meme and kill it essentially.
yeah. As
So
soon
it's
as a
slippery.
company jumps on a meme trend, that's when you know it's dead. Unless the meme originated from a company.
Yeah.
At least in my opinion.
I mean, I'm sure there are exceptions, but for the most part, yeah.
Yeah.
Although I don't like memes that come from a company, for the most part, I feel like are making fun of said company. Like a company does something and they're like and people are like, "This is cringe," or whatever. Like the EB Games copy
Yeah.
that. Like they were making fun of the guy for having a long neck, but it was still from a company. It was still a meme about EB Games. So, yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Well, at the end of the day, memes are very, very powerful, and maybe we're already there. I wouldn't be surprised. It doesn't feel far fetched, but I could see like governments, not necessarily governments and like literal propaganda start happening
T Todd, I don't know
in
if
the
you
form of memes.
remember I don't know if you remember the 2016 election, but I'm pretty sure that that already happened.
Well, yeah, but I mean like
I mean in a
almost like
detrimental way as
tinfoil
well.
theory. Well,
What?
yeah, but like I mean in a more tinfoil theory, like spreading um okay
Are
to really
Todd,
really go off the deep end here. Imagine basically North Korea like planting memes to that kind of stuff.
t to not go too conspiratorial, I'm pretty sure I read somewhere that the "Brother, my loops" meme was originated by the Russian government as a way to, like, influence American culture stuff. Like, I'm pretty sure I read that somewhere. Again, I could be completely wrong, but that is exactly what you're describing.
Yeah, I'm
But
sure
yeah,
they're at least trying, but I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be surprised if it already exists.
I'm pre you
But yeah,
could I mean, yeah,
memes
you
are
the
very
the the
powerful.
the fucking if you wanna get conspiratorial, do you know how many, like, China memes have been a thing recently? Of, like, dude looking like Winnie the Pooh and Bing chilling and all this stuff. You could make that argument of the Chinese media trying like, the Chinese government putting these memes out here for that to, like, in some way, shape, or form, humanize or dehumanize or whatever you wanna put to are now thinking of China with these
Yeah,
memes. Like,
and
it is a
hell,
real thing, and I'm pretty sure it is in some way, shape, or form happening right now.
yeah, there is the nah. Actually, no. That's not really what we're discussing. I guess that's very off topic. But yeah,
I mean, hey,
meme take
this is
propaganda
unscripted.
science. Yeah, I don't want to get too much into the like. I don't. My focus is not on the like conspiracy shit. I don't care about that. That's not what we're here. I just find memes very interesting,
Yeah, actually, you mentioned something.
both
There's
because
not
of
like a
how
lot of
powerful they are, but also just how they function. Sorry. Yeah.
you mentioned that like there's not really any official papers or any big studies done about memes. legit, I don't know what it is, if it's like getting a doctorate, like how you can get like a doctorate in something, but it's when you literally like write a paper or make a thesis about something that nobody else in the world has yet. You could literally get whatever that is. You could get the doctorate or whatever if you just write this. Okay, it is doctorate. You could get a doctorate in memes if you made like a thesis, if you made a paper, you studied the analytics of how it works. Although you could argue that the fact the word memetics, they've already studied it, but in internet culture, at the very least.
Yeah, I'm sure there are people who are studying it. Especially because of how powerful they are. If they are powerful where you can profit off of it, there are people studying it. 100%.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you
Just
just gotta
because
be. You
there's no
gotta get that
publicly
paper out
easily
first.
available information doesn't mean that they don't know how it works. In fact, I was just today watching a video from Upper Echelon on YouTube. He was talking about advertisement, and to summarize the point, ads have become so successful that they don't worry about how effective an ad is anymore. They worry about how to not make someone paranoid. That is the worry now. That is how effective ads has gotten. They have so
Paranoid.
much information. They got so much algorithmic work. They got so much literal spyware that they know what you want to buy. They know how to influence what you're going to buy. The worry is not if they can, the worry is how to make it unnoticeable. That is the main worry these days.
I don't know. I still just hate ads, like I think most people
Yeah,
do, where
yes, but I'm not
second that
talking
skip
about
button
the
comes
type of
up.
ad that you see here on Twitch. I'm talking about actually good ads, not sponsorships, not the Twitch ads, not pre-roll ads or shit like that.
Oh, like you're just walking through the street and there's a billboard for Coke or whatever.
No, not that. That is very general. I'm talking about specialized targeted ads. If you have an ad block, chances are very slim that you're probably not going to experience it that much. Which is
Oh,
another
like
reason for why you need ad block. Like, get
sidebar
ad block.
ads and shit like that.
Yeah. Your shadow profile is like, they have a crystal clear, like, profile on what type of person you are. Okay, we're getting way off track. It was relating to
Yeah, I'm
memes and whatnot. Like, my
confused.
point is that, yeah, I don't know. I got way off track again. Memes, they're very powerful, and people are studying it because they already know ad and all that. So if they can find a way to utilize memes, they definitely would. So crackpot indexes. No, I'm not gonna keep talking about it because that's not what I want this to be. I don't want to talk about stupid ass tinfoil fairy bullshit or conspiracy stuff. I want to talk about things that I find interesting. It's just that
Wait,
I go on a tangent and get off track.
yeah, I guess I'm kind of here to be like, hey, what about memes? Memes and communities? What about the memes in your community, Tot? Hey, Tot, what what happened to the meme awards, huh? I'm bringing out the spicy topics. Didn't you used to do meme awards every month? What happened, huh? I'm here to hit the
Yes,
hard-hitting questions.
we used to do meme awards, but they became kind of a chore, and it became more that people tried to do targeted things to it. It made making memes into something that I didn't want it to be.
I
That's
mean,
what it
you
comes
could
down
do
to.
like a monthly, maybe not monthly, but like bi-monthly or whatever, quarterly roundup of just looking through the meme channel, and you can make a stream out of it. Just like looking at
Yeah,
the meme. That way, there's incentive for people to make memes. In that at some point they'll be on screen, and it'll give you content out of it. Win-win. The
yeah.
problem with memes is that they come and go so quick that if you take too long, then the meme's dead in the water, and you might miss out on like a thing, you know, like a
Meme reviews
potentially a
are
very good meme.
actually,
Yeah.
yeah. As much as we, is it wrong to mention names right now? We all know what we're
Soul
thinking. Yeah.
meme review. Yeah.
So
Don't worry, Chris. We don't have to like look through the shitty source filmmaker meme. Also, that's just like regular memes. I'm talking about like community memes is what I mean.
yeah, community memes, like
Yeah, a
specifically
big
memes that
difference.
relate to us, this community, people in the community, relatable,
Having the mod
like
sucks. Other than
that
that,
way. Well, yeah, the thing is, the Tots meme channel on Discord, that channel is supposed to be TOS friendly. Anything that is not TOS friendly should go into spicy meme. So,
yeah. Well,
you
that
know,
makes it easier.
yeah, channel, it's safe to look at on stream right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe me. I remember modding Soul's meme review. It wasn't fun, but again, that was just general memes, as opposed to, if you once a month, once every 2 months. But like I was saying, uh, you got to strike while the iron's hot with a meme. Like if people find something funny and they're making memes about it, you got to, for the most, take it and run with it. See where you can go. See how you can take it and yoink and twist. That whole adage.
Yeah. I think it's better to handle each meme on their own, like makes content out of each meme as is fit, rather than a meme review. At least for this kind of context. Like if it's a meme review of general memes, that's a bit different from what you're saying. Like memes from inside the community, like you're saying, gotta strike while the iron is hot. I think it very much so applies because I'm trying to think of a good example. Huh.
I don't. Are we arguing
can't think
something
of.
here? I don't know.
No. I'm basically agreeing with you.
Okay. Yeah.